Yeah, absolutely. And this is one of the maps where he was able to do the same. This was also a map at Lock-In that they did perform well on with this same comp. And they got, you know, they did a pretty solid job here, even despite Artis' raise this past weekend, or this past last weekend, rather, just not hitting really at all.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that in this map against, of Pearl against Leviatan, they were playing excellently. NRG had such fantastic reads on what their opponent was doing. For FNS on the defensive side, he did such a good job of playing for info in the mid round and stacking against these Leviatan site hits that we know they're so good at. And that's why it was kind of shocking they ended up losing that map. But that's just how it goes sometimes. A couple late rounds slip away from you, and then the whole game gets into a very unfortunate zone.
Yeah, and against a team like Leviatan, who have that clutch factor, you know, in their veins, it's very hard, man.
That's
you know,
still
they're
on
gonna
that,
make
so
very
we're good to
challenging.
go.
But here's the thing. Earlier in the show, guys, we asked y'all if Brazil will win 3-0 this weekend. And the results are in. So let's find out what you guys said. And yes, 51.8%, but people saying no, Wyatt.
Yeah, I mean, wait, which is the 3-0? Is it Sentinels or is it MIBR?
Could be 4-0, guys.
It could be 4-0.
I mean, are we counting Sentinels as a Brazilian team?
I don't. Why would we count them as a Brazilian team?
It depends on who does well in the server.
It depends how the sky is and where the sun is positioned in relation.
Why would the
Sentinels
Sentinels be a
Brazilian citizenship? The guy deserves it.
All right, guys. Well, look, coming up after the break, Mimi's actually.
I mean, I guess Saucy and Pincata. That's fair.
Could make a team very successful. Question is, will we bite? She's going to step into the Spark Tank. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you guys on the other side. That sounded ridiculous.
Very good branding.
Very good branding. The Spark Tank. Get it. That here, this is up. Oh, I haven't started up kick, have I? Am I worried about starting up kick today? Lucky? I guess on the flip side, it's like, why not, right? I guess. Yes. I think I gotta do the whole dashboard thing. Oh, I need to post it on live in the Discord. Is what I need to do. Is what I need to do. This is gonna be so good, dude. Sentinels versus NRG. What maps do we think are gonna get played? Is the real question. Does anyone know where's the best place for me to be able to find that? us.
Welcome back, everyone. NRG really needs a win here today against Sentinels, and Mimi thinks that she could sell us on a way to get them to the top. Find out what happens in this installment of the Spark Tank. What? Okay, Mimi, please come in. Take it away. Welcome to the Spark Tank. We are the Sparks. On brand. What product do you have here
Thank you very much, folks. Today, I wanted to pitch you something that could help solve a problem that many teams have. But let's talk about NRG, the squad that we're talking about today, because they've had some issues in their opening game versus Leviatan. And that was some of these late round situations, the later parts of games where, you know, at times they were kind of running out of ideas. Happens the best of it. They have one of the world's best IGLs, but even then, you sometimes need a second voice in the fray to help you out, to help you get through those moments and avoid situations like this where games fall apart. That's not just an NRG problem, but many teams struggle with it.
I mean,
however, I'm very happy to say that
I think I have. Has NRG ever done good on Lotus when they pick it, chat? Does anybody know? I don't think they have, right?
Players who can help solve those problems, players who are great voices in the late round, who are fantastic individually, players like Sassy, like Durka, like a coach on the side of Leviatan come to mind. No, not yet. But this team, the one that I want to talk about is, of course, Saucy on the side of Sentinels. He's absolutely fantastic, a leader in the late rounds, coming up with ideas to help his IGL, and a consistently fantastic performer. But if there's one thing that makes him the player that he is, I wouldn't say it's his mouse or his aim or his brain or any number of those things. It's a different factor entirely, and that is, of course, that he's bald. This guy has a fantastic brain on his head because of the bald head. You can see it right there. It's absolutely beautiful. And my company, Bald Buff, hopes to help other teams.
Y'all hear that, chat? Bald Buff. Bald Buff.
Here, folks. I'm gonna show this one to you. As you can see, absolutely beautiful. It means that you can make any player bald. And for NRG, right now, every single player has hair on their head, which is something that I can't stand for as a fan of that team. And so, to you folks, to the Sparks, I'm seeking $1 million for 1% equity in my company, the Bald Buff, to help improve every team in VCT Americas.
I'm sorry, did you say 1% equity?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
1 million?
1%.
1%, yes.
Yeah. Now, here's
okay.
Get really out in the way here real fast. Because I'm one of the follically challenged individuals here. I think that this is something I don't necessarily need, and so I'm out.
A shame.
That's fair. That's fair.
Folks, beautiful heads of hair on your head, and I'm sure that doesn't help you in your gameplay.
1%?
1%, sir. That's correct.
Already some people cut out of the market for that reason. I'm out.
Sean, can we make a deal here? This could really help the team.
This could change the world.
I'm worried. The bald could easily turn into a mold.
You've seen so many players who are insane on this one. Think of Durka.
The bald can turn into a mold, not like this.
I'm worried about the mold. And what about the other issues this team faces? What about the language barrier issue?
Well, there's not going to be any mold when everyone is unified under baldness.
But no one can understand artists in this iteration of the team.
Everyone is the same when they are bald. It's a factor of unity that you can't have. Surely we can make a deal here. I'm willing to negotiate, Sean.
Let me try to bring Wyatt back in here.
You want to bring me back?
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
I think I need him for the distribution purposes of this. If we were to,
I was seeking your mentorship and his network, of course.
Yeah, so.
Okay, they're whispering here. Obviously, a lot of deliberation. This is serious.
Well, I've talked with Wyatt, and to approach you here, we're going to offer 3% at $500,000, and under the circumstance of you adding 2 Brazilian players to this team.
I can do the Brazilian players, cut it down to 2%. You have yourself a deal, sir.
Do you have a deal?
Do we have a deal?
We have a deal! Oh my God, the Bald Buff.
Thank you so much. You will not regret this decision. Thank you.
Wow, unbelievable stuff.
Well,
look, folks, we've got 2 great matches coming up today, and this obviously is a momentous occasion as we are going to be leading things off with Sentinels versus NRG. Now, before we start the show, we wanted to let everyone know that this stream does contain fast flashing images that may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy or other photosensitivities. Of course, viewer discretion is advised. But folks, that is going to do it for us here. It is now time to kick things off here for VCT Americas. Let's get the show on the road.
All right, let's get it, chat.
You look great.
Thank you, Mimi.
All right. Gotta get ready to start doing chapters here. That way we can do them as we go. Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone was talking about him, and this is going to be the guy to look out for.
Too much cryo again. Does this guy miss? Does cryo ever miss? No, he doesn't.
All right, there we go. Pops this up, pop that up. Yeah. All right. I do kind of wish I could keep an eye on.
We face NRG, and I think it's going to be a tough challenge for us. And I'm sure we need to step up to get the victory.
Sentinels are obviously
What's the best way of putting it?
Usually, basically all of last year we played against
I think back to like when you could watch
why they were able to win against us so consistently. So definitely
like the game center for, let's say, a football game, and it'll just show you like the plays. It'd be kind of cool if there was something like that for esports.
When we face FNS, I think it's like a read game. You know, we need to always read them. So it's like this brain war. You know, we know how he likes to call in. I think he's a great IGL, so we might be careful about him.
How patient will he be? Oh, he spotted him. He's gotten it down to 1. The snap is there from Finesse anyway. The Red Bull clutch for NRG.
KRU já é um time que a maioria dos times brasileiros teve dificuldade, né? Principalmente no passado. A Furia conseguiu vencer agora, então acho que já tá mais diferente. Os times já entendem o jeito que eles jogam.
What a shot by Kessin! But it's halfway for Kessin, and he gets the NES. Welcome back to the world-class Wrecking Crew.
Va a ser interesante. Tienen jugadores muy buenos.
Man, there's nowhere to go, but holy smokes, what a shot from JZZ.
Yo creo que el jugador más peligroso es Hit. Lo que tiene él es interesante.
This is the second matchup,
no
though.
jugar contra él, pero
Why are we talking about this matchup?
Ese momento para que él lo traiga al partido.
That's so big.
Se a gente fazer o nosso jogo,
But why?
fazer nos treinos, vai dar bom pra gente.
Hopefully everyone's having themselves a good weekend, chat. Appreciate y'all coming and vibing, man. NRG versus Sentinels is gonna be good. Good matchup to get home for. I'm hoping this should be a 3-map banger. However, I noticed how'd I spell it wrong? Wait, did I really spell it wrong? Oh, because of the capitalization. What up, Boogie?
Two prolific teams in the Americas.
Bro, we gotta get coached to either get some new suit pants, or he's gotta wear. We gotta get him wearing like cool socks.
Like a papi chulo coming out there and just changing my life every single time you walk out there. But I'm verklempt. Anyway, moving on. Moving on.
I mean, he does look good. I mean,
he looks good.
He does look good. You're not wrong.
You know what I mean?
You're gonna upset Mimi.
Call a spade a spade. You know what I'm saying?
I already asked. No more fun today.
No more fun?
Supposed to be doing business.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Quota. That makes sense.
How's your weekend going so far, Huggy?
For business. I mean, like we were talking about before, though, I think this match is going to be really important for just figuring out what the trajectory of both these teams are on. Where are the paths taking them?
Question though, do you think
smelling that
if like let's say
chili though, I'm gonna have to go get me some here in a minute.
2-1 close game. Let's just call it.
I know you told me, love.
But it's still a close game. Do you still feel good about NRG or?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Because I think that.
Oh, just because I didn't capitalize, yeah.
I don't think it's necessary, but I do think it's important because
The
as we've seen, this league is very top heavy. There's a lot of teams competing for that slot at Tokyo, and there's only 3 slots available. So winning this game is very important for both teams, especially NRG sitting 0-1 down.
To remain competitive, yeah.
But the thing is that Leviatan series, it wasn't that bad. Their Pearl was actually really good. I thought Vanessa's
It was honestly just the Lotus, you know, where you felt weird.
Rough. They're still trying to figure out some of the role stuff with artists. Issues were there, but I'm not signing a death warrant for NRG.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone should. But now we get ready for our map select here, and let's see where we end up going for our first battleground here as the players are going to opt for their bans. But yeah, Wyatt, I mean, that's kind of been my big question mark where it's like,
no, there can't, because these things are too close together. Never mind. I'm not going to finish asking that question.
You know, if either team loses here, because this is a hard matchup to call.
Why don't they do like another split or another couple games or something between Masters and Champions?
Okay, I like to see it.
Other than like LCQs.
The split, that's been a map that
that's kind of weird, right?
Play, but last time they got dumpstered.
I mean, I know it's not weird. It's how they've done in the past, but like compared to other esports.
NRG have had a weak point on that map. At Lock-In, they were playing the Sova. Didn't look particularly good. They tried another double initiator comp last week. Also didn't look particularly good. So I'm hoping that maybe they have something new.
From where I'm seeing here,
all right, so we got Lotus, Icebox.
I feel like we got the Lotus. We have the
Icebox. What I want is a Heineken 0.0 Icebox.
Oh, I'm parched right now. I'm parched right now. I could really go for Heineken 0.0 now that you mention it.
Yo, what up? What up? How you doing?
Box back in the mix though for NRG.
The Heineken 0.0 Icebox.
Especially when there's Heineken.
Is that you, Raj?
Thank you so much.
Hopefully I'm glad NRG didn't completely butcher the name.
Everything else
welcome in.
Making sense. I think the initial bans banning out good maps for the opposing side. Interesting though that Sentinels are going into the Lotus.
So Pearl for last, huh?
I don't know what they're going to be up to there.
That would maybe just be a counter to what they saw.
I feel like that's
this is about to be the counter moment, yeah.
Yeah, and for Icebox as well, I'm really glad that NRG is going to that. The last 2 series, they were actually the team to pick Lotus, and historically, Icebox is a very good map for this squad. But last time both these teams played it, they played the basic comp.
Is this because NRG hasn't looked good on Lotus? Is that the deal?
My quandary is, as we've talked about a lot of the times with Icebox, is do any of these teams go for the new stuff? Do they try out the harbor compositions? Because NRG has been implementing some of that.
So I don't think we've seen
because they've been focused
that much from NRG on Lotus, have we?
For their individual players. So
or from Sentinels on Lotus, sorry.
Basic composition. Maybe they've cooked something up too.
I do like this series layout though for NRG.
All right.
Honestly, you end out with the Pearl. Like, look, if you end up picking up the Lotus here for NRG, you got to be feeling solid for this team throughout the series. But of course, now as we get into our
comp change,
select,
Artis is off the raids. This is the 3rd composition that NRG is going to be trying on this map, Wyatt.
Yeah, I mean, this is where
Artis on Killjoy, huh?
Plays everything. Yeah, I mean, the Victor Jet.
Does this just really show how game breaking Chamber was when he was at his peak? So many people who were like Chamber mains really seem to be struggling figuring out like
it's gonna be
where
really
they belong.
To see him on that role. For the side of Sentinels, they go back to the double controller composition. I felt like this is actually a good comp for them in the past. And for NRG, they've only had a week to prep this one.
Yeah, I would hope that this is going to be heading in the right direction. I do like this idea, though, of getting Victor on the Jet. That's worked for them before.
All right, well, we've got the maps, we got the agents. Now we just need the casters. Let's send it over to Doug and Bala.
Bala.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. Yeah, the crowd's fired up. Bala is too. Let's not tell him that the sign's upside down.
It's not upside down.
Well, you're right, actually. The sign's not upside down. His handwriting just was. Let's talk comps. Right off the bat, NRG already making
it's not upside down.
Valorant.
Thoughts on that? I mean, Victor back to Jet is ridiculous. That's such a complete out of left field thing. Artis is on this team.
Yeah.
What is he for if not to play the Jets?
Well, and I think it's interesting too because you're making 2 changes here. It's not just that you've taken Artis off of the Duelist, but then you're going from the Raze to the Jet too. Really feels like there's some fundamental things that they feel like are being addressed.
Yo, happy Easter, King.
Yeah,
how you doing, fam?
The first thought I have when I'm looking
how's your
at
weekend
this change
been?
Is Victor was one of the guys who was very comfortable on this map against Leviatan. So let's see if he can still maintain that comfortability against tens of all people.
Oddly enough, as soon as you say that, he takes some spray, but it's actually Artis who draws first blood.
And this was a role he was playing for the team at Lock-In. This Killjoy, he is so flexible, so comfortable to go for these picks that the team requires of them. And it's interesting that we're going straight up against Sentinels here in the 2nd week because Sentinels is led towards comfortability where NRG is asking their players to be uncomfortable.
NRG trying to find a couple of other openers, and they are.
NRG off to a good start.
Sentinels have essentially crumbled here on the site, and Def may be trying to make a swing back.
All left at 10s. 10s in that. I was about to say 10s in that guy. 10s is good. He ain't that good though. He ain't 1v4 in NRG. I'm sorry.
Space, they get past and up their wall where there's a little pocket, by the way, that they can walk into the site with. And that was unexpected for the Sentinels players on the site. Gets a stun off, and Victor's on top of him. Artis is on top of him. Everybody right there. As well as the push through tree coming through the rotating door. That's a good pistol for NRG. Way to start off this game.
That timer's frozen, Balla. That timer's not moving.
Yeah. Probably a tech pause here right off rip. All good.
All good.
I was wondering if it was a tech pause or if we actually had them calling it. I was going to say there's no way they're calling timeout right after.
When you're looking at the comp changes, this is not only...
Imagine they come out and they're like, no.
But you're still dealing with some of the changes that we've seen from this team in the past. Finesse recently picking up the sky for this comp as well. So it's very, very important to keep eyes on all of these players, how they're actually using their utility. Is there going to be any flubs or...
Can I call timeout? I just want to call timeout.
Proficient, very proficient at this role. While the sky is new for Finesse, the initiator role is not. He played Breach on a number of different maps. Very different how those agents actually control mechanically, though. And then the other thing on the other side, Sentinels with this Harbor Viper leading into the Brazilian meta with the two Brazilians on their team, Sassy and Def.
Let me take a quick look down B here, right?
Handling defaults and retaking map control just like you see right now, but just classics.
All right.
They're going to go for orbs instead, and I like this later in the round rather than where energy set up to actually spray.
I was close going for that orb, man.
In the middle of rotating.
You mentioned that orb they did that they just got mid. They also grabbed the orb on A for Def, and you can tell it was very much part of the plan. They pushed down A main initially, grabbed that orb, and then used a harbor utility to get another one B.
So while both teams struggled for the orbs in the beginning, now they're leading back over towards C, and it is an eco, so we do see the gamble from Sentinels on the mini-map. Not quite in the right position here. And while we did lose the Rays, we still have the double.
They're like waiting, and they're just... I was going to say, there's no one there.
30 seconds left. Take space vertically and in the back of sight and break angles up.
Sentinels had to full commit on the one side because they're pistols, so...
Any challenge, at least for a little while. As you were saying, Sentinels really just on the opposite side of the map, now starting to rotate over.
Question is, do they send everyone Hall, or do they send anyone trying to go through...
And look for him to die.
Door.
Players of NRG.
Or Waterfall, sorry.
But for NRG, they're trying to funnel orbs to, I believe it should be Crashes here or Artis. But neither of them actually taking frontal fights right now.
Here, all them footsteps, bro.
Oh, there's a big flank. A pinch attempt here from Victor. Here. What the Sentinels players want to do is die at a spike.
Good spot for Pancata here.
Maybe. But they're coming in from the backside. They might even find all the kills. And Finesse is committing to the site for it too.
Sentinels still managing to die 3 to the spike. And we'll see, again, as we keep an eye on this ult counter, how close Def is. Yeah, now just 2 points away from having that Reckoning online.
So mostly going to have SMGs in their hands this time around from NRG. Because they kept them up in their hands.
Full effect. Not every single team in Americas is doing that, but Sentinels and NRG...
Finesse making sure not to over-invest, right? Making sure they'll be able to buy their rifle as well next round. That's their game plan. Rifles all on the sides of Sentinels.
The light armor strat. It's the pace you expect out of NRG. Just one cascade, and they're still holding behind the wall, not really going forward. Something that did hurt them against Leviatan on this map was how often they were challenging and getting hard punished, both in A main and C mound right here.
Yeah, I mean, they just got destroyed at that aspect of the game. You're absolutely right.
Poison's off. Good attempt there from Crashes. Second looking for a jump spot, looking for information, looking to spot Crashes, but Crashes has his crosshair pointed on him. But Tens is very advanced here. Here comes the Trailblazer that's been so good.
That flash.
Oh, bruv.
Tens should
gets away though. Okay.
That is impressive from Tens. Normally you'd see him commit
That's
to
nice.
a fight there.
Yep.
But there, Smoke dashes away and escapes unscathed.
I wonder if he pushed up on the other side of that little like wall there. If the Trailblazer would have had enough time to wrap around and still get him.
And he did just get hit by that flash. Do they draw rotates over? Yeah, take a look at Def. He's creeping back towards A. Now they know that the hit's on C and it may be okay because Sentinels are holding them back anyway.
And they didn't even get in 20 seconds yet. They're going to pivot to B. They're definitely making an attempt at this. It's Def to respond. 12 seconds.
Victor weak. Art is close by, and he's the first to fall, yeah.
Sheesh.
Well played by Sentinels.
Nice round from Sentinels there. Able to keep all 5 rifles standing, too. It's going to really be good for the economy. Def's going to be able to get his ult up.
It's the Brazilian duo.
Really well done.
The Portuguese phenoms. Over here on that C site, there's 2 mollies there.
That was really well done.
The Nano Swarm and then the Viper Molly coming in if they could find the timing, but Victor tried to avoid all of that by going dry, but the turret received him. So if he can maybe put it in his mind to try to break that turret early, that's more of an option later on in the round, but there definitely wasn't. Depends his position all the way up in B. They threw a high tide instead of a cascade this time to cover both B and
So almost
Mound.
all rifles this time around on
So
NRG.
same effect over by Mound, but it allows Tens to get into this position very safely. So Zekin and Tens, the double duelist duo of this team. And NRG's been pivoting. There for the first time you see a Trailblazer that doesn't get a stun for Finesse.
Toxin screen down.
And it's left Def on an island.
He does have Reckoning, and he is playing pretty far back.
So ideally they had to be playing retake. Wait for his team to actually regroup, and the door is visible now to them.
They have A wide open to themselves here.
Doesn't have the spike.
Why do they have anyone over there? Oh, I need to...
This is a fast flood before the spike's even tapped, before the spike's even out of tree.
You're absolutely right. Are they going to be able to handle the chaos? Sam dancing around the smoke is concealing so much, and Tens dropped right into his lap. NRG able to get 2. You still have Def close by. Playing and drop. Position now revealed. They've got them trapped. They've got them trapped to the side, and NRG may be perfectly okay.
There we go.
Spammable with 15 seconds.
You just have no idea that that's where the plan is. Now he knows. Saucy's still patient.
Portuguese
Not gonna be able to get anything with that though.
It's just them 2 in this 2v5. That would be outrageous. Now Saucy's left by himself. He's got a Phantom. He's tucking tail. He's getting out of there.
Yeah, only rifle you got in your hands, you gotta try and save it, man. Ain't no sense in trying to be a hero here, right, chap?
Literally fell onto Victor's lap. He caught
Imagine though.
And Tens is back turn. That flash didn't find value either. Out of Zekin. Because everybody was so grouped up right on top of that smoke. Good idea. Execution lacking there from Sentinels. It's not like that C-hole.
NRG does look good, Oogie.
Oh, it did get
You ain't lying. Oh shit, my bad.
Sam completely dodged it because it wasn't.
I hate that it does that from time to time when I'm trying to find one of my windows.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, NRG just look so much better right now. It's the second flawless round they've put together. They find themselves up 2 rounds early on Lotus.
Better than last week against Leviatan.
That's for sure.
Just the opening moments of this match, though. Ten's got the option.
I was happy that
early.
ALGS postponed this week so I could watch this game.
Spam.
That's huge. Also breaks the molly too.
Nice little give and take, you know.
Save his molly's an alarm bot from going down. And there it is. They're popping another one to break it down. And he executes on.
I mean, Victor's already so far up, and he's separated right now. The cascade from Harbor's keeping him at a distance.
They cleared the site, but they're not on yet. They're going to use a lockdown?
They still have players up in heaven, too. They still have players in Link. You got Victor on the site, but where do you go from here?
TP on the plant here from Sam.
He's got to scale up. He's got to take some of his space.
Victor's in a good spot. Push a little bit ahead.
Def waiting on the other side.
Nice one. Oh.
Good movement.
Managing to stay alive for now. Ultimately falling. Ten still has that op, and he's finally showed up into the scene. Sam not able to hit the transfer. Ten does hit the shot, but Finesse just waits patiently.
NRG looking really, really good.
Dies again.
Good understanding there from NRG. Actually, Victor clearing the site. But while he was doing that, he lost control of Waterfall. He lost control of Heaven, even though he did spot those positions out. They don't want to walk into the spam. So they use the lockdown. Secure.
Good time out here from Sentinels.
Which, by the way, Victor is able to reclaim because of it. And it's just not clean on that reclaim.
Probably much needed, honestly.
Again,
right?
Not finding super much value out of that flash. And it for it being the only flash on this team.
Hi, Oogie.
You're hoping that can find a little bit more value on those floods. So far in this game, we look to be achieving a sense of normalcy in what we expected from the North American teams.
Yeah, I could probably do a little better.
This is what I think
advertising the multi-stream on Kick, but
we're expecting from Sentinels, giving a little bit more time to Sentinels.
Honestly, so like I even put in the Discord though, like I think especially because right now I'm not going to be doing as many watch parties, at least not for VCT. So I got to figure out what I'm going to be doing. So I do definitely still want to stream, obviously, watch parties when we do watch parties. That's why we fucking do them. But I do need to make sure I'm focusing up on
as it stands.
Like short form and long form content over here for the YouTube. You know what I mean?
3-round lead here for NRG. They've got blades. They have the Omen ult too. And it's a light buyout for Sentinels.
First attempt at a fast A control here from NRG. And it works out. This is what was missing against Leviatan. There were so many good challenges from that team. And Sentinel's not opting to go for any of that, except for on the side of 10s right now, all up by himself at Mound.
Not much to him either, just the Sheriff.
And then when we get to the point where I can afford an editor, then I can go back to doing more watch parties, you know? I need to focus more on...
The only person close enough to really challenge is Crashies, and you can tell he's just kind of waiting for it. I wonder if he's expecting a little bit of push towards mid off of the flash from Zek, and either way, the door hit once again, A.
Just looking for picks through that. Give some dynamic timings on that door, where you can clear the space and potentially hold it.
They are going to funnel through. Tree taken.
I'm thinking though when I'm not live and if I'm watching,
so many mind games being played.
I'm gonna pop live in the Discord probably.
The Seekers too, and the spam out deals some serious damage early on.
We'll see, maybe.
Where is he going?
But look at Tens. He had not moved this entire time.
He stays? Oh. He's done. Oh my goodness. Well played. As we see this round likely closing out here very soon, Sam's going to continue to hunt for a couple of these frags. We'll see if he's able to clean them up. Dev spots him. They know where the pressure's coming from. Really no challenge, though, for the Vandal. Yeah, it's interesting, Ball. I think back to the last time we saw NRG on Lotus and how lost they looked, right? Like, they got obliterated. It seemed like they had no real plan. They didn't know what they wanted to do. This is getting a little bit closer than they would like, but cleaned up eventually. That I just think about that Som TP, and that just feels like, yep, they're hitting the level that we're.
They look a lot better this time around on Lotus. That's 100% truth.
How they want to approach the map.
Big old facts. FAX, chat.
Exactly where they needed to find a little bit more creativity because they were getting on the sites. It was just Leviatan was rolling them on those retakes.
Yeah.
I feel like I remember NRG not winning a single post plan in that game. Now, that could be wrong. Leviatan was flooding them so fast. It was definitely causing them problems because they were not only allowing them to take the sites in the ways that
all right, Sentinel's got 2 ults here if they want to use them.
Very, very well.
When Kata can stay alive, they can use the lockdown for a retake. Or maybe just to hold off a push even.
Does spot him.
Played a little ring around the rosy for a second.
Crazy part, though, is that second cascade coming in right as Tens falls back. But that also prevents them from going further on that flash off that Trailblazer. So they just wasted 2 key pieces of initiation utility for nothing.
And it looks like they're going to end back C. Zekin still has a little something to him. Should be able to spot out some of the presence still.
Art is going to try and make some noise over by B. No, they're going to rotate this to B.
And he also has a flash potential off of 10's first shot.
There's 10's that first shot just narrowly missing. It seems like they want to.
That gives him access sight, right? Yeah.
Look at Victor. He's always
Nice.
on such a good path.
Really well done.
Dashing towards heaven, smoking it up, and then clearing the doorway.
Oh, with the pit as well. All right.
Key pieces of initiation utility. They pulled all the rotates off, and now they've got a pit down.
Oh, Finesse once again. He's going to get another kill where he's just able to drop a couple of bullets into the back of someone's head. His positioning has been excellent.
And that's the cue as well for Victor to take the space A main so he can get away from this lockdown. They're going to push it.
They just don't have much control on the extremities either.
Can they even get to Som in time? No, they've got to go for the spike here.
And even if they do, you still have Victor who's on the flank. You've got Finesse who's creeping around the corner as well.
Nobody tapped. Nobody tapped.
Oh,
back down.
It's over. They don't have enough time.
There's no time anymore.
Yep.
No.
That's confusing there from Sentinels.
Yeah, someone needed to commit to it.
Not a single person even going for the tap. I'm wondering if there was mollies going off that I just didn't see. Possibly was. Artist wasn't B main.
There weren't any mollies, were there?
Very, very easily.
I don't remember seeing any. I think it's just a miscommunication of who was supposed to tap.
We'll take a look at it again. Finesse has gifted another. I think you're right. They're able to get onto the site very effectively, and I think once again, you know, we've touched on this a little bit, but they're being proactive in their controlling of the elsewhere on the map, right? They aren't just satisfied with controlling the site. They're controlling choke points, they're controlling pinches elsewhere on the map. That's just causing so many fits for Sentinels here.
And it's piecewise too. It's step by step on everything that they're doing. Even when Artist gets on the site, they're still trying to check all the boxes. Slowing down, waiting for each other. It's very disciplined. This is a huge shift. And maybe it's just comfort against the teams they're familiar with. They've been the kings of NA for so long at this point.
Could be that. It could be role changes. Who knows?
It's a weird teleport. Oh. Okay, Victor gets it first. Are they still trying to enter through door here?
And it's different looks too. Som has joined up with Victor here. He's going to easily receive 10s, although he's got knives.
Oh, I thought he was going to land the second. Had that been a sheriff, maybe. But no.
2v2.
Seekers dropped. Second still has the op. There's just not a lot of time here.
No more mollies.
The molly's there. Crash, he's having to hold it back, but he cannot.
What a pickup there from Sentinels. There's that fragging ability from both Zekin and 10s.
Okay.
The double duelist duo.
Still plenty of econ over on NRG side. Although, what, if you win the next couple rounds,
force them away from those maps where they actually do activate.
they can break econ before the end of the half, right?
Easily takes out Victor, but with only a classic in that one. And Zekin too. Huge.
It wouldn't be this round. But if they win to go to 6-4,
what else is in the tank here from Sentinels?
then we'd be seeing Sentinels bring pistols, right? Or sorry, NRG bring pistols, I think, right?
Opposite side of 10s.
They put the op back in his hands too.
I've got your trail.
Fast ult gets canceled. It's a good spot when you're going for a fast C hit.
I feel like we just saw him have that ult too. I mean, they're just dumping utility all over the site, man. The paranoia, the flash, the mollies, everything. But the Reckoning is going to cause problems. This site is so tight.
Trailblazer.
Som's just done, man. He's dead. He got up a little bit too far.
Okay, give Sentinels the opening.
There's still even more retake tools, though.
There's so much utility here.
We're not opening. I should say the advantage, sorry.
The alarm bots forcing a reposition. 10s with the op. He got by, but does he know?
Oh, no.
The swing timing is just too good as Victor gets a second.
Okay, 3v3.
3v3 on for the side here. Finesse dancing around the door. Saucy waiting to see if anyone dare challenge. Hello? Oh, gosh. That was so close. I mean, can Sentinels get in here? It's another late round situation that's now 2v2.
Finesse let Saucy in way too deep there. You got to kill, and Victor's trying to play the time. Cove's going up. They have nobody to spam this right now.
This is going to be close. They're going to be able to steal this. They got it to half. You're just going to spam.
Oh, that's enough. That's all you need.
Def on the tap, on the hole.
Doesn't matter.
With the swing and the clutch.
Well done by Finesse.
Again, the leader showing up clutch for this team. This time while fully in control. This time while reading the map as well. This time while finding the right methods to get on the site over and over and over.
I wonder if we see them just put this Viper's pit down on B the way we put some seats, like some teams put it down, like on like B main, like kind of between C door and B pillars.
And it was Sasu who went back on it because he thought he was going to be done with the bullets. That's a little unlucky there, but finesse as well. Channeling Victor's horseshoe.
You got tens again up on an angle with the sheriff this time. They're just very carefully, very systematically clearing out every angle A main.
This is now Sentinels approaching B main, trying to find artists, trying to threaten these flanks. Sasi looked at it in the last one, and he called it the war of the brains. One of those interviews that you saw early on, he said that was the win condition, was trying to figure out how finesse is calling on the map. Currently losing that battle.
And this is just another wrinkle to what NRG are able to introduce on this attacking side. They're burning the clock so far down.
But it's never too far down.
So they haven't invested the pit.
15 seconds where they actually start to go for the execute, but look.
Smart. They do have a couple rounds left yet.
No matter anything.
Sentinels have been quick on the rotate, though. They already have 4 members here.
Do you figure you're probably not going to get it again, right?
You see Victor dashing forward anyway. Ten's cleaning him up. How much can Second find? There's the second. The pistols are so good from Sentinels, and now you have rifles that have arrived. Artists in this 1v3, turning 1v2. 8 seconds on the clock. You've got the turret. You still have Pakat and Saucy you're going to have to deal with.
Oh, nice.
And he cannot.
Okay.
Just pistols there from Sentinels. They recover after that clutch very quickly. And you're right, I mean, burning the clock. It's making Sentinels sweat. But at a certain point, you're seeing them now start to try. Tens mode. They're trying to make the gambles at the end of the round. And this is the first one where it really pays off. They had 4 members there. They were flooding. They had flashed before even coming back onto the site. They got a high tide at the perfect time. That one was tough. All
right, so a couple ults on either side. Zach gonna have the Seekers too if they want to use that to try and either use that for a retake or maybe push people off site. Like hold them off site, not push people off site.
Finesse one step closer to having Seekers. And it looks like it's going to be another slow round from NRG.
It's been the tone for this entire map. It's been the tone for NRG so far. And in the past, too. Victor with knives. Look to want to hit this seaside a lot faster. Let's see if they can get this lockdown down. Force Sasi off. I've been looking for opportunities to use that hold on the clash. Tens.
Are they going to push up and try and close this?
Huge out from Artis. And now they know that Tens is on the other side with the op. The jump peek is too good, but Crashes is better. Paranoia out, and Zekin's gonna fall to it.
Wow. Sentinels not looking good right now, chat. It's I'm looking at the best.
It was a hold in the sense that they're actually receiving the aggression through that rotating door. And again, I'm looking for opportunities for Sasi to get this pit down. A lot of times when you hit this C site, you've seen teams, you've seen Leviatan specifically, fall back and use a pit.
Here.
That covers so much of that.
I feel like generally in the past, though, we have said 8-4 isn't unusual on this map.
The idea is to play retake as well.
But I don't know if Sentinel's going to win this with this buy.
He is on the opposite side of the map, choosing not to use it early. Well, they had, what, 4 members stacked today? They get Tens into a good position and then start to rotate off. Def now joining the likes of Sasi on the opposite side of the map. And yeah, okay, they are going to spot him. They know where Tens is. The paranoia, once again, you see him dashing away and getting away with the 2.
Sasi uses the pit at the meantime over towards that C site. Crash is going to go investigate, see how it's played.
So, like, if you're Sentinels here, right?
Any gaps? Do they have a protocol for this exact pit? Probably not anymore without that Trailblazer.
I don't understand. I don't understand the second player being right on C.
To fully commit to this.
And you've got 3 ults.
With the Seekers as well.
Death's 1 away.
Those can be used reactively to stop this late hit coming in from NRG. I think they want to pivot through the broken door here.
About 35
you know what I
seconds left
mean?
in the round, and as you were mentioning, there's still a lot of delay tools here on the defensive side.
30 seconds
Mainly
left.
looking at Pankai's ult. As soon as there's enough of a Q, there it is. And they're going to rotate B. And Tense is here with the shorty. He's going to push into it.
Oh. He said, anything you can do, I can do better. Hold this.
They're going to have to commit to B. And you see them both. Vipers passing right by one another. Crash, he's patiently waiting. And rewarded for it. That finesse, once again. Oh, he may have gotten a bit too far. No.
I've got your trail.
Beautiful round again from NRG. The war of the brains is, I mean, especially when you look at that kill from Crash. He's on Asasi coming out of that pit.
This looks like a much better NRG than last week. I almost wonder if Sentinels pick Lotus merely because Leviatan beat that ass on Lotus last week.
Ability to do this, Victor. Oh, just hits him right back with a shorty of his own. It's ridiculous from him.
Very well done.
But with all due respect to Sentinels, they're not
They have a 9-3 lead
Leviatan.
in the opening map of this best of 3. Golden Boy, what do you think? 9-3 good?
Look, I'm just not one. I don't believe in curses. Okay,
that's good.
I'm not today. Okay, not
today.
All right, I think this is going to be good, honest, clean Valorant. That is what we're going to be seeing for. But that being said, though, good, honest, clean Valorant is exactly what we got from NRG because Mimi, they look stupendous. They're playing their comp incredibly well, and the results are in the scoreline.
Yeah, with Sentinels on this defensive side, I think one of the biggest issues with their composition that shows is that they have no line control, no Omen with a Paranoia, no Breach, and nothing like that to early take a long and fight that space, which is normally a priority on this map. So a lot of the times they kind of had this choice of do we anchor sites or do we more
sometimes you worry about when it gets like
retakes. And what they ended up doing so often
what's the best way of
was
putting
playing
this?
to retake because Finesse was calling a really good game in the mid round. Take a look at this round. Round number
Actually,
7.
I'll say it after
where in
Mimi
the late
chats.
round, NRG managed to get a plant down on this B site. And despite the fact in this one that there was a lockdown to retake, that it was Sentinels plan the whole time. They had Som reposition into Link. They had a player towards long. It was all really good ideas to counter that out. And that shows me FNS is a fantastic read on the comp of his opponent.
Yeah, I really like how they're using the Victor Jet in this composition. I think it's perfect, and it's a great adjustment from how they were using Artis on the Rays previously. It allows you to get those explosive sight hits, but I like this alternative approach with the Jet, where they're still using him to dash entry into the sites, but he's not going so aggressive that he's just kind of maybe trading one for one at best or setting up a teammate for the trade. He's actually throwing down the smokes, managing to stay alive, kind of play.
Hey, thanks, Edgar. I appreciate you, buddy.
Find some picks while the retake is coming in. It's not just this like all or nothing approach that they kind of had before, and that also speaks to the FNS game plan. I like how they're rotating around the map and positioning him in those situations effectively.
Yeah, but 9-3 I think is still doable for Sentinels. This composition is better on the attack side. There's a lot of options in the mid round with the Viper Harbor. And this is a side of the map that NRG really struggled on with their previous comps.
Yeah, well, you know, we're going to see if NRG learned some lessons from last week. Let's go ahead and send it back over to your casters. Now, Doug, do you believe in 9-3? Back over to you.
Do you believe in miracles?
Nah,
Yes.
I think I do. I'm not gonna lie.
Shut up, Mr. 9-3 blessing.
3-9 blessing. Come on, it's a 3-9 blessing. All right. But I do think Mimi makes a good point. I think the composition for Sentinels, given that it's their attack side now, given that you should have a bit more agency and more ability to control the map with 3 sites. Like,
Yo, chat, appreciate y'all coming in and vibing with me, man.
As of a deal as you would think otherwise.
A lot of different places y'all could be watching VCT at.
I think that's appropriate, especially given you still have a very similar control setup here from Sentinels 2. They can burn him down just like NRG did just a half ago. We'll see though. All starts right here. Already trying to gain some control over towards C-Long, but it's unsuccessful. Look, NRG again re-clearing. And they get a setup that if they do choose to pivot, looks like they want to go for just a fast B split here. If they have to pivot all the way back towards C, that's a really good setup late.
Clearing out the panel, dropping utility through it as well. And now the dash forward.
Sentinels need this pistol, man.
And they're
I wouldn't use too much of your utility early.
While we had something like 11 plants in that first half. Sentinels starting off in the exact same way. These Harbor Viper comps so good. Sassy up close though.
Even flash, yeah, it was just too close. He was able to spot him, able to see him. Now Dev spraying with the frenzy.
Finesse is on the
one back.
I don't even think they know. I think they were paired the entire time. Oh my goodness.
They were able to stop him though.
All right, big round for Sentinels. You need the first round here for pistols.
I thought so too.
8-4 isn't necessarily unheard of on Lotus, so 9-3 is doable.
Bit of a gamble.
But you could not lose the pistol.
And Finesse combined to get the flashes going, and then the smoke on the spike while those flashes are still affecting the players. I think the Q was actually the smoke. I don't think they actually heard that, because I certainly didn't.
Chat, by the way, man, if y'all are over here watching on YouTube, if you can do me a favor, if y'all haven't already done so, hit that like button. Seems to help with the algorithm, both while we're live as well as for people looking for the games once we're shut down as well, since we do chapter up the videos. I appreciate you.
They're just so bold, man. They just push right through the cascade. Unawares as to what's on the other side, but they choose to do it anyway. And now they've got this, what could potentially be a devastating flank.
I have to draw parallels to, like, I mean, the last time we saw Victor on Jet was on those Breeze maps. And while towards the end of that comp, didn't look as clean. At the very beginning when they pulled it out, when they pulled out the neon comps, all those different innovative stuff that they did, it looked so good. Artist with the first kill finds the spike too. So he knows exactly how this is going down. The spike is headed towards A and they're pinching on them from all sides.
Victor's a clever too, or he just clears it out. Second spots him, clears him up.
You can't do much damage from that range there, man.
I don't know that they know either. All he has is a frenzy, though.
Won't matter either because Artist was already coming from the doorway, and if they leave the rotating door closed, they'll know they have to come through main.
So do you open it early?
Now.
And then send someone on the flank, you think?
There, completely. Just everybody backed up a little bit more, got very tight. And there's really no serious escape here for it.
Like go more like, you know, top rope, eh? Oh, no, never mind, they're all up there.
And they make the right read going up through spawn. Everybody wants to die to Spike.
Yeah. Hell, they're the ones who...
No.
Imagine, though. All right. 9-5. Gotta get through this round. If you can reset this round,
and even though it was,
you're in a really good spot for Sentinels. Comparatively, obviously.
On all sides. They still managed to not get squeezed out there. They still managed to find a way out. First gun round of the game. Everybody light armor on the server.
And NRG with another aggressive push towards A main.
Here.
Victor now the first one forward. And it seems like Sentinels may be pushing their way in. How far up does Victor go?
I'm wondering if there's a real good combination here.
Yeah, they have a paranoia perhaps from some. Oh, you're just gonna back on up.
Yep. I mean, very similar protocol to what Tens was doing, but instead Victor activates his dash.
I don't think they're fully committed to this push on A, though. I don't think they need to.
Finally uses it. I like that. How much longer he saves his dash. How he doesn't actually need to use his smoke there. You can see the optimization there from Victor.
Yeah, I like. I prefer the push on to C 100%.
Then the protocol out of Tens. But will it matter? They've got a tree set up here. We did not really see this sort of thing from Sentinels, but Spike's on the other side of the map. Def's high tide coming back up. They just cycled the wall. Doors being popped open as well. But the Trailblazer cleared so much just then down from stairs. It's only 3 players here against Crashies.
30 seconds left.
Is that gonna be enough? Drops the first Molly, still has the second.
They at least get him off site and push him back to that back hall.
Seems like he's showing up. Artist is 2. The rotation top to Trot, not far behind.
Yeah, full 5v5 retake.
Molly there, 4 Crashies.
They're at the advantage in the short range fight, though, with SMGs, though.
Flash forward, Crashies dancing around the cloud burst, and Tens was blind. They may have gone up just a bit too far. Now starting to back up and fight for control of the site. You see them white-knuckling their way to try to keep them back. but the energy trying to funnel through. Victor getting one back. 3v3 here for the rest of the side. Artist spraying through as Victor's gotten the third. Fourth.
1 HP.
They want it.
Nice. Just enough.
Huge round from Victor. I don't know where that came
Yeah,
from.
man.
Just came out of spawn and
Victor just absolutely saved that for NRG.
off that early peak.
Otherwise, they'd probably get reset.
Zekin was farming on the site with that Bulldog. Against the light armor, the Bulldog a lot more effective.
Damn, bruv. Damn, bruv.
Frantically, here's the kills from Victor. Nasty things.
Enemy remaining.
Nasty, nasty things from the man himself.
5-round lead for NRG. The only real ult close by is Victor's in the Blades, 1 point away. Meanwhile, Zekin has a very good engage to his.
Are they going to challenge here? Finesse throws the flash, see if they walk out in front of that one way. And because of that, they do not challenge. Victor's success in that last round reminds me of how he was asked to shift his role so much for this core. From initiator to flex to initiator to duelist. When Ye last year had to play the chamber. And he did it every single time.
Oogie, I asked the question earlier, and I'm kind of curious to pick your brain on it.
Star player performance.
With seeing so many players struggling who were like chamber, like almost one tricks last season, struggling to find either a role or a legend, just show how strong. Like, just does it truly just show how broken he was on the comp level last season?
From Artist on B. And then you still have to deal with Artist himself.
Damage done, but not the kill. High Tide will get them the spike down. Look at the flank still here, though, Crashies. Very curious.
He still has a turret up, though.
Toxins going up.
Oh, it just went down.
He's gonna slip the net.
Pancada's up in waterfall. He doesn't even realize.
He's gonna slip the net, and the flash doesn't tag anything either.
Get out of my
Saucy keeping one back, expecting the other. That's 3 on the round for him, but can Crashies play hero? No, he cannot. The timing's just not great. Pancada getting 2 massive kills at the end. The Sentinels get to 6.
I'm not sure if Pancada.
Yeah, but I think most people would agree that Ye is out right now because he's worth too much money and because Cloud9 couldn't afford him, right? And just unfortunately now at this point, no one in VCT is going to make a change to their roster. Like, I don't think Ye is out because he couldn't find a role, right?
Clean up this round. He's explosive. He really is.
But like, Artist has been kind of, you know, trying to struggle to get in his lane.
Initiator that he normally is. And he's playing fantastic.
He does some of your other chamber players in other regions.
The question for the Sentinel squad after last week was, are the champions on this team going to step back up to champion level form with the new rules? They've got a lot to learn.
Deep harbor wall. They're gonna dash forward. Crashies is there, and he's ready, and he's waiting, and he gets the one that was free.
That was an accident.
Yeah.
Pancada goes down by accident. He was vulnerable and decayed through that orb. And the spray that actually was taking down Tens. Oh gosh. Oh. A wild jump peek from Finesse.
He was wide. He was so wide.
I think the reason he survived might have been how wild that was.
Yeah. Def getting the spike down. Sentinels still have a shot at this. They're just down 1, and they have the pit now.
They can't really play this. They're playing underneath, and that's a little scary because those guys can walk up and negate the near sight.
Look at that wall. You have a wall protecting.
That makes sense, for sure.
So many layers that NRG are gonna have to get through. Flash getting 1. They're waiting, they're patient now, they start to flood out. Victor getting 1 with the blades, but he's weak! And Zekin getting 2 with the spam. It's a 1v1, but Victor's 1 HP.
Okay, it's coming back.
Yeah, it's back.
Oh, Zekin! All right.
We might just yet have a game still. 3 rounds the difference now. You thought, especially after winning that first gun round, that NRG may just run away with it. Look at this kill on the Tens, and Pancada was the first guy he shot by accident there. That's
falling.
Absurd.
He was falling, bro. Like, that's just unlucky, man.
And Zek in the spray through that pit that Sassi got up. He kept it up for so long. The NRG players were suffocating inside of it that Zek just needs to breathe on them. And it sucks the life out of the round now. NRG with the timeout. NRG need to come up with the plans. On attack side, it was flawless from them. Really, really good ideas. So far in this defense, they're not really doing an amazing job at stopping these hits. And when they came in there, that was, again, battle of the brains. Sassi leading the way, finding that lurk. It's huge. You saw him get a little bit more comfortable with making those proactive decisions on that first half.
Oh, man.
Flanking the door, flanking all the way back around A main, pushing B link, those sorts of things. And it's still continuing this half. He definitely has a read on the game.
Chat, we're only going to be watching the first game today, no matter how many maps it goes. 1, 2, 3 maps.
On this half.
Then after that, I need to wrap up this video. It's going to be releasing later on YouTube. Either that's going to be releasing today or tomorrow, like midday.
I have to also think this is Sentinel's map pick.
It'll probably end up going up tomorrow.
I already mentioned a little bit how NRG, in my mind, got this a little favored throughout all 3 maps here because they're avoiding the double duelist of Fracture and Split the entire time. Forcing maps like Lotus, forcing maps like Pearl. And Icebox even, you could consider that one too.
That's the big key. The Seeker's online now for Finesse.
Artist is locked down as well. In this situation, definitely power ults that could swing the round, but they're not exactly ones that fully guarantee it.
I don't know. I just don't see Killjoy as like one of those characters that has like that big impact potential, right?
Gives his position away and has to tuck tail.
I think one of the things there that you're looking at both Def and Sassi playing such passive positions behind that wall are hoping that instead of re-aggroing and re-clearing down C like NRG is doing consistently, they'll swap that over to A in the late round. Breaks the door open for those Seekers to go through, get a little bit more info.
Tenz is already on site.
Look at the last Seeker all the way in spawn right now, actually giving them all the information. All 5 players now are going to be here for the NRG squad.
He's so far up. Oh, bro, this is so... Oh, Tenz is going to...
Yeah, they're going to tuck right back. And if that's not enough,
I thought he was going to risk and peek right through.
They're swinging back in the side.
And they hit the door to pretend that they're going to be pulling off, but they want to take the fight to NRG. And it's gone 2 for 2. The dash, now Zekin swinging.
Zekin? Oh my goodness, bro. Zekin popping right now. Sheesh.
He is going crazy this game on the sky. 18-11. Top fragger on the server.
That's fair.
And it's moments like that. A great call from Sentinels to reflood into the site after they realize that lockdown's not pushing them far. Yeah. And you expect from the NRG side that they're not going to do that. They're going to sit back and tree. They're going to go for post plants. Just try to find picks on the entry back in. But because of that flood, they lost track of where all the players were coming back out of. That smoke from Tenz as well. It's going great.
This has the potential to be chaotic. Look at how far up NRG are on C. Sentinels once again
good paranoia.
Fight with the paranoia. Oh my gosh, it's a disaster. It's a disaster.
Brody really got 2 on the right clicks and 2 on the Bulldog. Wow.
Paranoia deafens them. And Victor goes for the updraft dash. They have no way to track that while deaf. You have to hear the audio cues of those updrafts. And he gets the disgusting flank off with just a classic, mind you.
Poison orb emitting.
That's insane, man.
And a huge round out from NRG. Again, in a situation where they didn't have a ton of buys. You alluded to the classic previously. Crashies has a stinger. They're able to scoop up some of the weapons now.
At this point, you might as well save your last rifle.
And more layers to that, too, while we have a second. They tap that orb, expecting the trap.
Omen's nice, man.
To peek through the one-way and try to challenge the player with the orb. And once that trap is triggered, that's when the paranoia comes in. Sentinels is trying to group to receive the anti-eco push. Battle of the brains continue.
Yeah, that's a telestrator play right there.
That is That one was a lot of fun. They're going to continue 15 seconds. They got all the guns already, so happy to chase down Saucy.
Perhaps get another rifle. Artist was the only one, and yeah, he's going to get something. Now 4 rifles carried into that round from NRG.
Yeah, they might have just given themselves room for almost the rest of this game economically.
So I was gonna say Sentinels basically need to play it perfect from here.
I'm not sure if it's a reset for Sentinels. We need to check on that one. Look, everybody, and the flash as well coming in late. They have no clue. Look how grouped up they were. All 4 players hit by that paranoia.
Last player standing.
Jeez Louise.
Oh, and it's cold from Finesse too. Usually, yo, he's popping off on the stage. Especially after a call like that.
Cool, calm, collect. That's when you know you gotta worry about him, man. He is dialed in.
Near the end of this opening map, still a 3-round lead for NRG. You know, you
still manageable for
Sentinels.
Sentinels,
I just go back to the
but it's gotta come with this next round, man.
Like, no expression in his face, but still playing up to the crowd. Like you can tell, these are just two. Like this feels like a match that is delivering in the way that we expected, right? Like Sentinels looking better as the season has gone on, and NRG on return to form from last week.
Ow, sorry, my bad,
feels
chat.
like a heavyweight fight.
I mean, this could definitely be the 2 best teams in North America. I think we're trying mostly to place them outside of that, but the battle for the Americas League is not fought within North America only.
But he said best teams in North America, right? Not just Americas.
Sentinels
I think that's fair.
Interesting too. We haven't really seen Sentinels go for something fast and aggressive, and right now they're all stacked up A into the op from Victor.
Doesn't have the same leeway here with the Phantom that he did, and he does get tagged. A lot of damage actually done to him. Part of that was the decay of running back through the wall. Still gets a bullet though in the leg. Surprised to see him going for the op when he's finding success with the Phantom, especially on the retakes. But he does have that knives as a secondary option.
All right, Pit comes in.
Trapped. Yeah, the Pit's there, and they're also controlling the panel. There was a flash.
Oh!
Surviving every
Missed
time.
the op though.
Heels coming back up.
Oh, he's getting so far up.
Oh!
And he walks right into the shorty barrel.
The game sense from Victor is insane right now with those shorties.
Only a couple of members left for Sentinels. On A, and it feels
Second.
like they're spread a little thin.
Should be able to catch him right coming up, right?
Cue for NRG to go. Where do they pounce? Zekin already falls. Death able to take one with him, but that's all it is, and it would be an outrageous play out from Pakala for him to pull that off, but
Well,
he cannot.
Looks like this is going to be NRG taking Lotus chat.
And they still have the op for Victor.
And he still has his knives too. I don't think he popped them. He used the shorty instead as the secondary. In situations like that anyways, the knives are going to be used in the same sense of a shorty, where you're just trying to get a right-click kill while you go back to your primary.
Right.
Because it is so cheap. I mean, the knives in this instance can kill from a much longer range with the right-click. But I have to point out the game sense from Victor there to recognize Saucy was going to go for something cheeky. Saucy is the one. While Zekin is receiving the plays a lot of times and living up to the moment, Saucy is the one being proactive about it. So if they cancel that, nobody else on Sentinels is really finding that same groove.
That flash hit? Yeah, it did. Saw him backing up. Got Finesse close by.
I suggest you move.
They're investing a lot into this, but that paranoia.
Didn't connect.
Oh, Finesse falls. I mean, they've dropped the Reckoning, they've dropped Harbor Utility, but they all want to go towards C.
A lot of KJ utility on C.
Canceled mollies here. And nothing breaks them, so 1 minute, this is going to be a lot of time for them to get back into this. That turret down right now, Pankata's trying to get it back up.
Oh, and it's clear.
He pulled it away.
Victor's creeping up. You've got Zekin who's waiting to receive. And the timing on that is just so much fun. Is he going to swing out? Is it going to be Victor who's coming through?
Victor!
Into Zekin's crosshair.
Gets out of there as well. Secondary attempt going to come through from Crashes, but the rest of NRG.
He expecting someone else to swing back.
Man, look at him. He's pushing.
Zekin playing super smart here.
At this point, he's hunting.
Yeah.
Easy.
It looked like NRG wanted to maybe put Crashes there in a position to get a lot of exits with the pressure from the door that Sam was putting on while the rest of them walk away and save their weapons.
Pankata's going to pick up, the rifle. Nice. So what, 2 rifles upgraded for Sentinels that round, right? I think.
NRG side, even losing this one and getting the reset.
Zekin goes down there, unfortunately, but.
Yep. For both sides, it looks like. It's the second timeout. Last timeout from NRG. They called one this second half early, and now again trying to find a way to close out this game, and they're not taking this lightly.
I guess they're expecting them to be doing
within 3 from Sentinels.
A moment to talk things through here. We saw just before the timeout was called, another op was invested. So they're continuing to put trust in Victor to find value with that weapon.
Again, that decision to me is very surprising given the comp that you have out from Sentinels. The Harbor Viper is so difficult to find good angles from. You get everything chopped up in front of you. Yet, I say that, and he found
if they buy full armor, I don't think they have enough, right?
And he's able to find value other ways as well. Especially because I think he still has his knives up.
I believe he does as well, yeah. NRG just within arm's reach of closing out this map and taking a 1-0 series lead into the next.
Jet, anyone watching RLCS this weekend?
Both teams definitely improving on their last week's performance so far, in my opinion. Even though Sentinels got that win over 100 Thieves, I don't think it was as clean as it might have looked from the surface. Every single game went to the wire. 2 games went to overtime. They barely pulled it out on Ascent. That was a nice comeback from them. They're attempting the same thing here against NRG.
They're going to take a main control again, but note here, it's historically been the Trailblazer out from the attacking side.
They are up very, very far from Finesse and Victor. I like it.
Trailblazer that's getting Victor into an aggressive spot.
Do it.
Flank last time too. He's going to go for it.
Oh, what a shot!
Might just be a game-ending pick right there. Def the Harbor. It's so much more difficult.
Hey, what up, Jim? I just realized I missed that over there. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
The ability to pivot.
Oh, that was actually just a second ago. What up, what up?
What else do you have to provide
Hopefully you're having yourself a fantastic Sunday.
Sam has to stay on this fake. He cannot bite on the B fake right now.
He's patient.
Appreciate the follow over here on Kick.
Right by him, the alarm box positioning away. Artist walks into his death, but Sam's trying to hold the line.
I got the spike.
Tense comes in, Uptrash to trade that. I'm not even sure that Pankata was going to be in the position to do so himself.
Second once again.
He's not.
And he does. But I don't know that he's expecting the second.
He is.
Should give it away.
About to, yep.
Confirming his suspicions. The flash.
Oh, it's too easy for Zekin. Oh my goodness.
Another
brother.
Sentinels. Oh, they're far from done.
2-round lead. Victor trying to escape. Second hunting. This is a difficult spot to get through, though. But it is spammable. If you don't want to go through the big queue of opening the door itself, I think there's about 10 seconds left on the spike, so plenty of time to hunt. 15 total, maybe.
Oh, but will Zekin be looking the right way when he turns this corner?
Even if he dies here, you have Tens who has the opportunity of chasing this down.
He knows.
2 seconds.
Does Tens go?
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
he hit him once, I think, on the spray, right?
Too from Tens. That's surprising. Did have the knives, so.
That was so clean from Tens.
But the knives were out there from Finesse. And I believe, yeah, Crashes too. And Zach can put him in the blender.
Op carried over for Victor once again, opening the round towards A.
All right, here we go, chat.
All of Sentinels are. 10 stashing forward. And he's got a flash over the top to help out. Instantly door triggered. Victor not going to get a shot.
Does that clean that alley for them?
You've got Song close by, Finesse getting info with the Trailblazer, and you still have that op.
A lot of info on the Trailblazer, actually.
Again, lines of sight blocked over and over from Victor. He's trying to be dynamic.
Just imagine, chat.
Trying to get into better positions every time. But when you're starting off all the way back, you saw the success of the last round was because he started way forward. Unexpectedly, now he's almost neutered entirely ready.
Third tap of the door, if I'm not mistaken. It's just
So one person in.
Fourth now.
Oh, no.
Oh!
Gosh. Still gets the kill. It's not the end of the world, but definitely a little bit of an issue there for
Oh,
Psalm.
Victor.
Spike planted.
3 gonna funnel in from the defender's side, and Thames far up. Artist takes care of him.
Oh, brother.
Numbers NRG here, but Spike ticking away, and it has for a little while now. They're gonna have to move forward with some pace.
Oh!
Jeff not able to get the second. It's all on Bangala.
It's over.
Finesse on the tap. He's gonna get it to half. No, but that Molly's gonna help. It's gonna buy some time. The spam out. He's got to land these shots on Crash. He's now, and he cannot.
GG's.
The defuse is gonna come through, and Sentinels gave a run at it.
Sentinels did put up a pretty good fight.
Out Lotus 13-10.
All right, chat. I'm gonna bump this up so you can listen to the post game.
Scary moment there.
I'm gonna go build. I'm gonna go.
Almost didn't even get the first
Make me
one,
a bowl of some.
they're gonna take that,
chile.
fix whatever issue happened to him, and move on forward. That's a huge win. Sentinels really put up a face that they might have a chance in that on the comeback.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I have to wonder how important that Lotus pick was to them. They forego the opportunity to go for a double duelist comp by picking Lotus because they saw how weak it was for NRG. But they are not Leviatan. And NRG had a complete, I mean, that first half was beautiful, the 9-3. And then able to close out against the fake comeback.
And it was all off of, again, the composition changes. You can tell the game plan was different in a truncated time window. Remember, they just played this last weekend. Yep. They came in with something fresh. Either way, it is a 1-0 series lead for NRG. They take Sentinels down on Lotus. Icebox on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere, friends. We will be right back.
What is this from EA? He is currently unstoppable. True. He is just a consistent demon. El Diablo.
Hey guys, it's EA. Welcome to my course on optimal Valorant training. I'm going to be demonstrating now some angle clearing. I'll slowly come around the corner as well, making sure no one's on these off angles.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Oh my goodness. My legs. I'm back.
Gives you wings.
All right, so NRG takes Sentinels map pick. Do we think they end up coming back and forcing a game 3? Because Pearl was the decider, right? Yeah, we're going to Icebox next. Ah, chili's so good, man. Oh, NBG, Nappy Boy Gaming. I was like, who's NBG? All right, chat. So I posted in the Discord this morning, which, by the way, if we have anybody who's not in the Discord, feel free to jump on in, hang out. Best place to keep up with your boy outside of stream, whether it's keeping up with where I'm shoutcasting at, when we're going to be going live over here, all that good stuff. I know here in the past we've been doing more watch parties over here on YouTube, also on Kick since we multi-stream there. You know, we did like almost all of EMEA Super Week. We did quite a bit before we went out of town for vacation. I think I'm going to limit it to like at least one matchup a week. Maybe do another one whereas I can fit in, for example, even though we are, you know, doing the watch party now for, you know, this matchup for Americas. We'll be back tomorrow more than likely for Evil Geniuses versus 100 Thieves. That starts at 3 same time. Gives me time to be able to edit. I don't think I have any CS casting. I think that starts Tuesday and up from there, so more than likely that'll be the deal for tomorrow, but we're not going to be doing as much watch partying. With that being said, we're not going to be watching the second matchup today because I need to do some editing on the EMEA wrap-up video to make sure that gets released tomorrow.
Welcome back, everyone, as NRG picks up a massive win on Lotus. And boy, oh boy, if you told me last week that NRG would win on Lotus, I would have said that you were taking some crazy pills. But not the case here today, because NRG looked fantastic. And Wyatt, Mimi, this is really the NRG that we want to see. The NRG that always comes in with a game plan. The NRG that always outthinks their opponent. This very much felt like that NRG returning to form based on what we saw last week.
Yeah, definitely. It looked like Sen wanted to go for what we saw C9 do to Loud yesterday. They pick into the map the other team picked the previous week. Yeah, counter-strat them. But it didn't go that way because NRG, unlike Loud yesterday, actually came into this week with a new look. They changed around what was not working for them on the previous, and Sen struggled against that new look, things being centered around Victor.
Yeah, they really did. And I think for Sentinels, we saw some of the issues with their composition in this one. With this double controller, taking early space is a bit of a challenge, so you have to kind of be slow, work it with your smokes, but they wanted to play this mid-round. So in rounds like this one, they're oftentimes hitting these late sites.
See, I can't break it down like that.
And because you're investing so much,
that's why I think if I were to work on Valorant, it'd have to be on play-by-play.
To get your Harbor Wall up, to use your Viper utility in that way. In the late rounds, you're often running into these situations where you're at kind of a utility deficit, where NRG is playing to the strength of their comp, which is with the Omen and the Sky and the Jet, playing for these super fast and strong retakes. And I think that was kind of a struggle that also showed in the head-to-head between these two Jet players, because the support for Victor was fantastic, Wyatt.
Yeah, Ten's far worse stats than Victor, but I don't really think that's much fault of his own. He was put in a terrible position most of that attack half because he's just having to dash into his smoke into sight. But when he pops out of it, there's not really,
he doesn't know where he's looking.
Really good smokes in front of him for the defenders to have to work around. There's just that one high tide. So for the defenders, it's pretty easy to immediately just take the fight onto him. Also, even if he stayed alive, then his job is to take point after the fact and keep fighting, because after the spike goes down, those players on Sentinels, to win out the rounds, just have to take fights. They can't play back. There's no smokes to play around. And honestly, most of the reason that this game even ended up kind of close in the end was because of Zekin just going crazy and winning out some of those rounds, taking the fights they needed to. So they did the right thing, but the comp for me just wasn't lending itself to a good game.
Yeah, and it meant that, sure, Sentinels has a fantastic player quality. Their kind of synergy has improved vastly, so they were good at winning some of those late round fights. But for me, this is another game where I think NRG looked a lot stronger in the way of game plan, which I'm very happy to see, because their last two kind of ideas around Lotus ended in disappointment. This looked a lot better.
Yeah, and I think also when you talk about
Chat, I'm gonna
Sentinels
finish
and
eating real quick. I'm
NRG,
gonna.
really the devil's in the details with them because they're such practice, prepared, prep teams. They're so good. So you really have to exploit those small details where you can, which was to your point, which is the reason why I think Tens really suffered today.
Yeah, one of the main problems with that comp too is just in the early rounds and the late rounds, honestly, with the, Sentinels players being forced to play around high tides and Viper utility, it's just so obvious where they're going. And especially in the early round, like the way that they were trying to take parts of A and control that, where they have the Viper wall through A and then the Viper orb and then a Sky Dog and then Tens goes out to clear the right side. Like already you're committing 3 players there, and that's enormous information for the defending side. It's not like you have an Omen and you can throw that smoke down, but you're actually, playing with your Sentinel trying to control C main at the same time. Like, no, you actually just have to have 3 players there to control it. You're hitting the site, okay, well, we know you're hitting it because you have to be there with that utility.
For sure.
And they tried to go for a fake and it just didn't really work that well because they had to go into a site with no smokes down. So it's just rough.
And even when Sentinels was struggling with their game plans, we still saw NRG shine. I want to just take a moment to talk about the artist formerly known as FNS, because Finesse was having some amazing calls in this game, and the casters were going crazy about this one. Super cool idea, right? You have the paranoia to block out the sound. You have Victor dashing in behind. It's just these little plays that might be preset, might not, but these ideas that NRG is able to come up with on the fly are just excellent, and I think that's what's always defined teams led by Finesse.
And to your point on this round, I think one of the reasons that it was called is because nothing happened towards A, and they knew that they could go for that. There was just no noise there, so that was one of the reasons that they, I think, opted to actually going for that aggressive play on that round.
There were just so many tells, right?
White chicken chili on an Easter.
The board, and
he's
when
new,
you give
like,
that info, right, or lack of info to FNS,
just
he knows
think,
exactly what to do. Sorry, the artist
it's so
formerly
good.
knows FNS now.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, I am very, very excited for where this NRG team can potentially go, especially going into Icebox, or the Heineken 0.0 Icebox, which will be coming up here in a moment. But before we get into match 2, a slow roll for a minute here. Let's get a little warm-up going with the Aim Lab shoot-around. And here's everyone's favorite streamer. It's Sam. He's going to be shooting bubbles like a champion.
I'm very excited. We get to see Sam on Icebox. This guy was incredible on this map at Lock-In. Probably, like, the best individual player on a map was his Viper on Icebox.
Yeah, that box.
He's so damn good at it. And he was also...
He had to sit up in his chair. Oh, we're live? We're live? And we're on.
Lotus was really quality. Sam is continuing to prove that even though before their first couple matches, people had doubts of whether he could perform at this level.
Oh, we're doing it now? All right,
yeah, I think someone had to tell him what was going on in the site. He looked somewhat confused. Okay, now
he wanted to see a smile.
He looks like he.
Yeah,
oh wait, I gotta shoot the bubbles.
What am I doing?
Oh, okay, that makes sense now. Okay, let me go faster here. What a guy.
He's figuring it out. He learns fast. That's why he's such a good player.
Exactly. Really, I think that this Aim Lab shoot-around has just taught us everything that we need to know here about Sam.
I feel so
no more analysis is necessary. Yeah, I've connected with him as a human being, and this is where we are right now. But yeah, I mean, again, I think it just goes without saying, Sam has been such an instrumental part of this team. The young players on this squad, right? Zekin also popping off too in that last game. And now we go to the Heineken 0.0 Icebox.
All right.
I've been wanting to say that all season long, so I'm really stoked.
Why
We're going into the box now.
Why is
and
the map sponsored by Heineken?
Here, Mimi, for NRG. You look at this pool, you're like, this makes sense. Sentinels, of course, they're going to pick Lotus. NRG looked booty at it last week. And then they win it. They come out 13-10. NRG have to be feeling so good right now.
Yeah, they really do. And we've already talked about how good NRG is. But for the side of Sentinels, they're solid.
Is that right?
They've been willing to play it. They
for
play
sure.
The basic comp.
Let's not count them out.
But it's not one of the favorites in their pool. They're reaching into the bottom of the cooler. It's still nice and cool. It's a good drink.
Yeah.
It's not quite your first choice.
Exactly.
That was a Heineken 0.0.
You want a fresh, crisp Heineken 0.0. That's what you really want there. They're getting their money's worth, let me tell you this much. That being said, though, as we get ready for this next
let's go.
Wyatt,
Let's go.
What are you looking for here as far as like adjustments from Sentinels? Because, and I say this because to the point we were talking about in the pre-show, Sentinels very focused on putting their players in their comfort roles, their comfort picks. Do you think that we're going to get more of the same here potentially on Icebox, or could we potentially see some innovation?
It's possible that we could see them try and lean into something like we saw on the previous map, since Harbor is becoming so prevalent on Icebox.
Sure, yeah.
But of course, Icebox is still one of the maps in the pool that is.
FaZe Clan took down Gen G,
just
huh?
so scrappy. And you want to see Tens and Zekin just be put in position to go nuts
So the
on
top
A side
four
and run
for
around and swing with freedom, be set up in that way.
Yeah, I think we established yesterday as well that I really like duelist players, and this is a map where I want to see
your favorite thing to talk about.
Absolutely, and I'm going to talk about it more because I want to see both Artis and Tens maybe having an opportunity to go onto the Jet on this map. Previously, both these teams were playing the variation with the KO, where it was forcing players to flex around a little bit. I'm not sure if NRG will.
I thought I was offline on Steam. My bad, chat.
As we saw,
I was going to ask that. Yeah,
they've kind of moved away from comfort, and on the other side, Sentinels has really moved towards it. So I think that they might put Tens on the Jet, but I don't think NRG will do the same for Artis.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, where it's like, do you keep this going, right? I thought Victor was fantastic in that last game. He was effective. He got the op shots where he needed to. Victor's a phenomenal rifler, but to see him also take that op and do some work with it, good. That's all you want. Baseline, right? Just
hear the kiddo stomping up and down the hallway.
And I think on Icebox, especially with NRG's experience on this map here, Sentinels have a lot to worry about here, Wyatt.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, speaking of the comfort picks, Artis, the Jet for him was definitely a comfort pick
for sure.
At a lot of points in his career. That was one of the things where Na'Vi, at the time FPX, sometimes when they were in a pinch, they would just switch things back to, all right, we've gone too crazy. We've strayed too far away from what works. Let's bring Artis back onto the Jet, bring a little normalcy to the composition. And that was something where he would always shine if they kind of, you know.
All right, so they're already in the game. So can we get
No, I do want to let everyone know at home, because I'm sure you guys are like, man, these guys are talking forever. And I get it. I totally understand. I love the sound of my own voice. But thankfully, though, the game is going to be starting in a moment here. We had an issue on the stage. We had a crash there, so we just had to get that sorted out to ensure that we can get back into the matchup as fast as possible. And that's why you're hanging out with us, you know, so stop spamming caster, start the game. Also, I'm a host, not a caster. Come on, learn your roles, people. Anyway, moving on, though, as we look forward to this matchup.
True though. Fair.
Because I do think we can go to this game 3 here, and I would really like to see Sentinels knock NRG off of their game. But let's do this. Tens on the Jet. So part 1 of your favorite thing to talk about, Mimi, is happening.
And part 1 and part 2 is Artis.
All right, Artis still on stage. Yeah.
Maybe we get the Jet on Victor, or we get the KO. I would expect him to probably stick with that, but maybe they're really into the Victor Jet, and I wouldn't hate that.
Yeah, it's possible. My question is honestly on the next one. I just want to see what Death picks. I think if anyone were going to play the Harbor, it would probably be him here. So we'll see how that's actually going to end up in a moment. And they're all so they are.
It's almost as if you understand this game very well, Wyatt.
That's crazy.
Well done, though. And yeah, and Finesse is going to go for the pickup on KJ there. So we'll see if we're going to get this Victor Jet. But I think we are going to get Victor at least on a duelist of some kind here.
Yeah, so I think this is going to play out quite similarly with this for the double controller composition. A lot of your strengths with this one are towards B, fighting deep with the Harbor Wall.
Victor on the KO
with that Jet player. So I think that a lot of what is going to have to be emphasized for the defensive side here on NRG is leaning into the fast flood retakes that they're playing on map number 1 and denying space in deep areas like towards Snowman against this Harbor comp. But at this point, we've seen this comp a million times. You kind of know what to expect. It's no longer...
Chat, who's waking up with your boy for...
yeah, this comp really defined the latter part of the
for
Icebox Map this last year. And now finally for the first time on Icebox there's actually new things you can do, so that's nice.
Gen G versus Team Secret.
New things on Sentinels, so
5 a.m. Cool. I'm gonna wake up and watch.
All right, guys.
We'll be live.
Let's
Should be a good
see
game.
how this one's gonna play out. And come on, Riot Games Arena. Let's go ahead. Let's wake up. Let's make some noise and let's send it over to your casters. You got Doug and Balla for the call.
Thank you so much, Corner Boy. Yeah, we're heading over to the Heineken 0.0 Icebox, and it's going to be a banger. My only request is that we get to map 3. Honestly, like, however this plays out, I hope it's a good game, and I hope it goes the distance.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get there. Icebox is the pick of NRG, and we saw at Lock and
I mean, this going to NRG already 1-0. It's going to be tough.
Very, very first map, and it's the exact same comp. So let's see how it plays out. This is where I think I saw the first flashes of Sam being a tier 1 controller, being a tier 1 level player on that international stage. And he's continued to live up to that expectation of him, replacing Marv.
All right, let's go, chat.
By the way, on the bench for Sentinels, on the other side of the stage as well. Fast all dropping off on the left side there. The Cascade denies a lot of the vision that you might see for the players over towards Boiler.
That turret's a little deep. This three-man flank that's coming through from NRG is going to have to scale it pretty far before it's caught. Which also means that that turret is going to
not really tell them early enough, maybe. No, they break it really early, so Pancada's aware.
Yeah, instantly has to turn around.
So which is the call for Sentinels? Are they going to push forward, or are they going to fall back and try to receive the flank?
Oh, they want to go forward. The drone pushes his way up. Tessie, Tense, and
oh no. Okay.
Finesse not able to get anything, but Artist can. And you see this fight happening across the middle of the map as well. It goes in favor of Artist now.
NRG pulling up. Yep. All right, so they win the pistol.
For Tens. That is
Ledge, man.
Big round.
That's tough, bro.
And Artist immediately having impact. He was by himself over there at that boiler. Completely solo. Received both Tens and the rest of the Sentinels players that were pushing behind him. Dealt with that so easily. And you do see him picking up that Marshall. He does tend to op on this map when he gets down to it. Even though you won't see that too often on the KJ. I think for everybody here, this is a little bit more traditional roles for most of them. And for Sentinels, they're still sticking to that same sort of switch up. Definitely full committing. And when you do see Harbor Viper on one map, for most teams, you're going to tend to see that on all the maps where you can run it on, which is pretty much all the maps.
Great opener out from Artist. Again, picking up where he left off in the previous round. Hot start for him. What more can he find? They've left Def close by, too. Perhaps expecting aggression once again, like they saw in the previous round.
Good drone out from Crash. These two spots.
All right. Sorry, Jam.
At least one of the Sentinels players over here. And they do want to pivot over. Tens does... Oh, he did make some noise on that jump.
Just a step.
Did they hear him, though?
Much, but it was enough.
No.
Still gets all the way up here. That's the thing with Tens on this map. He does take a lot of risks, and it does pay off for him. But a big indicator for how this game is going to go is if Sentinels can continue the same success they had on Lotus at getting on the site, getting that plant down.
Right. See Finesse.
Oh, brother.
He's just dancing around.
Oh.
And then you have Artist close by too, but Tens has gotten
Tens?
so close.
Hold on.
They know where he is at this point.
Tens? Oh, dude, he just started whiffing.
Saucy delivering a clean one of his own. Crashy still trying to spam control the spray from the Spectre.
Saucy's still in a decent spot here. He just has low HP. You can breathe on him, he dies.
The remaining members of
12 seconds. And the Molly's not going to let him through.
Finesse is in such a good position too. Even if they choose to swing out from that, he's able to receive. He's able to hold him. Well done by NRG.
Still issues there, rearing. For Artist, he definitely was not aware of how close Tens was. Remember, he was all the way at the B side at the beginning, so he's rotating into unknown information. Maybe missed the comm, or the comm was not made. And that is a ridiculous pedigree for the players on the server here. 7 of 10. Winning a global tournament.
That's crazy.
At this point, there is a distinction. This event is international right here. Even though it's still only one region in a sense.
One region in the game,
no protocols to deny that orb early on. Take flight. No shock mollies or anything like that. They hold it. The dart, too.
Oh. And I'm not sure. I think that drone did not clear properly, leading Artist to getting that first kill.
Got the wall up in a
yeah, they definitely have a lot of good defensive utility within their lineup. That's a good point.
He was ready for it. He was waiting.
I even picked that up, Boogie.
Over and over and over. So, not surprised to see the Sentinels players easily handling that.
Victor spotting 3 there wasn't able to easily handle that. Had so many targets there.
Everybody.
It is where NRG's been thriving. It is a map where NRG's been thriving, though.
Trying to make a play.
One spotted, and there's a member just up top. No peek.
I don't think Zekin saw him. Otherwise, Crashes would be out of here.
He's patient. Where's the swing from? Crash is just so aware.
Oh.
The game sense is insane. Not able to deliver on the third.
How does he make that work?
He's just good, man.
And they're low. Look, Saucy Pecada. Portuguese mode activated in the 2v2, but they're low.
Yeah, how does that account for poor health? It
doesn't. I thought I was going to maybe wait.
10 seconds, spike gone. Oh! Scrappy on that one.
Yeah, it was.
I can't believe Crashy's made that work. That was a completely unadvantaged situation, but again, losing that drone early, Zekin doesn't use a dart to follow up. And I think on that jiggle, he did not see him. Must not have. Because he just walks back in that angle. Not really slow clearing and not ready to pre-fire.
10 seconds left.
Dude, Finesse has gotten so many kills in this series of just shooting someone in the back of the head. As he's just like tucked in a corner and they just walk into his crosshair.
That's what this NRG team strives for. Take the advantage fights whenever you can. Back to the standard Harbor Viper. B main control right now with that Cascade deep. But this is Psalm's playground, the back of yellow. The key thing here is how good Victor is at supporting him with a flash, but he doesn't have any. Super low money, and they're not actually going light armor here. Surprising, given their insistence on going for it on every other map.
There is a little help from Crashes. He does have Hunter's Fury too. A lot of patience there.
I haven't noticed. Have they been going full armor the whole time on the NRG side?
Waiting, and they're so far up. They're ahead of the utility that they've dropped, the Viper wall and the Harbor wall.
They've got to wait for the second dart to come back up. It just did. 10 stashes and Psalm's in the off angle.
He was never pushed off of it.
He's about to get this angle named after him.
If he continues to just farm from back there, yeah. Mid-map's not open either for Sentinels. And now you see some attempted pressure towards Psalm via the shock dart.
Triple swing coming.
30 seconds left. One enemy remaining.
And a double kill for Victor.
Next time, mind the heavy machinery.
4-0 lead for NRG. And this is now a gun round for Sentinels. They should be able to punch back here, but it's just looking very clean early on.
That's just insanely easy there, too. I do really enjoy watching NRG play this map because of how often and how many protocols they show for dealing with stuff like that. The regular, slow, patient push. Criticism of Sentinels there would be that High Tide came out way before Tens and Zekin were even ready. The cooldown on his dart was not
come
up
on,
yet.
Sentinels, man. Let's make this a game, dog.
And so instantly when it came back up, they're going for it because they want to spend all the time on the High Tide. But at that point, NRG already know what's going on. And yeah, Doug, you're right. No util to try to deny that over and over is going to cause problems later on.
That was insane. Finesse getting tagged through. They use the Reckoning and they scale up with it. What do NRG have for response? No, Crashies has this Hunter's Fury, and there it is.
This might be the first plant.
Yeah.
They still got the spike down, though.
Some damage off of it. But the job is done. He did what he was looking to do. Now the fight for the side ensues. Tens the first to fall.
It's a good molly, but didn't matter.
Utility to get some info and push them back. Look at how NRG just flawed onto the site like a death ball that's pushing back the attacking side. You still have so much utility you're going to have to deal with from Sentinels, though. You still have another molly out from Sasi, who's now dead. Zekin spotted, dropped. Hey, this is getting ugly very quickly for Sentinels faithful.
Oh, very nice.
Similar start to Lotus, but sides flipped. NRG dominating so far.
Time to stop back
on Icebox again, their map choice.
Another time out for Sentinels. First time for this map, right?
For that to be the first plant is definitely concerning outside of pistol, because this comp relies on getting into post-plant situation. It relies on the staying power and the cooldown.
All right, timeout's a good time to go fill my fat belly with some more.
That's how DRX played it. That's how Loud played it when introducing the Harbor Viper on this map. Yes, it provides you some early control options, but that is the main win condition. And NRG denying it over and over and over. That's got to be the discussion right now. Tens feels like he's the only guy who's being proactive on getting into that site, which is a difference because I don't feel like he was that proactive on Lotus. Even though to what Wyatt said on the desk, to Tens' credit, he was definitely being put in positions that were difficult for him.
Yeah, rough spots for sure.
And where the team relied on him to be sending away his life. But not in this case. This case, he's jumping up top 410, finding picks. His team's just not there to follow up with him.
Key ults here for Sentinels, though. You've got the pit. You can play around once you get into a post-plant situation. You have Zekin's ult, too, for the same. circumstance.
All right, a lot of ults here for Sentinels, man. You cannot lose this round. You got rifles. You've got Seconds, Hunter's Fury. You've got the Viper's Pit and the knives, dog.
They
Like,
don't fully consider the ults.
They're scaling up mid.
Yeah, aggro here, artists. No op, but they're going for it.
They haven't really tested this before.
That is a place where NRG can start to find even more value, though, which is insane to see. And think that NRG can find more value than they are. But if they put a player down there, Finesse is known to just post up on the angle and watch the cross. And Sentinels hasn't really been pivoting so much so far. So I don't think you're really looking for that yet from NRG. But if that becomes a tool in the kit for Sentinels, it definitely could end up being abused in mid. Wow.
Early.
really early
I mean,
lockdown.
that is so early, but it also, it's not going to bait out the Hunter's Fury from Zekin.
Oh, there's still so much time.
So he's getting value by the time. Look how he just bought 3 players to rotate into him.
Not a single sound.
They still decided a full commit here, though, huh? Oh.
That's going to erupt, and Crashy's once again ready for it. Bill's going back and forth. The spike's still not making its way past 410.
They can't give up on this, though.
No. I mean,
20
you don't really have
seconds.
time to pivot.
This is full fuel right now from Som. The 10 seconds isn't even going to be enough.
Oh.
They're staying on sites.
Spam, 13 seconds.
It's a risky wall.
I don't know that they're going to be able to do this.
Or not risky wall, risky stay.
Now, Saucy getting the spike down to 2v2, but Pancada's weak. Again, Brazilian buff activated, and they've gotten that far. Som left in this 1v2. He gets one. Can he do it? So patient.
Oh my goodness, Som. That's now 6 in a row. Oh my.
And it's the newcomer to this core of NRG, who takes down the players that the core struggled against so often last year. The Saucy and Pancada from Loud. Great round for Pancada, but Som, I mean, I thought he was going to get the molly in time to deny the plant entirely. There's the pop-off I'm expecting, but it's for his teammates, not for himself.
Chad, I think this is over. Hate to say it.
6-0 lead now.
And honestly, with tools for more. But maybe Tens can find something with the blades. Again, you see this 2-man creep down from NRG in towards Tube, and they know he's there. Tens not able to find anything.
And Artis is the one who's traded, so that's actually at least good for Zekin there. That he's able to target down the stage who had the res. Pancada finding a kill too. It's good to see Pancada get active in the series against 100 Thieves. He was 0-8 in first kills, first deaths. Now that wasn't one of those. But he is looking for those kills while his team finds space elsewhere. Finally an advantage here for Sentinels.
And a key one too. It's not just the numbers, but think about how good Crashies has been at anchoring sites in these last couple of rounds. Not a factor here.
I'm wondering if they get the right read right now. It's the kitchen pressure that actually ultimately, that duel in mid, ends up giving them. How does Victor find it?
I don't know, man. They were in trouble. It was a 4v2 essentially as they were starting to surround him.
They know there's more. Som puts down the pit as well. They can now tuck inside.
Saucy with the spam, Def from up top. He is in such a good spot. He can make such a big
Oh.
play here. I don't know that he's expecting the second. Now his position given away.
Not the pit player though.
30 seconds left.
He's staring right at him. How they continue to pass by one another.
He's in such a good spot.
There it is.
He can give this up now. His teammates here. Look, Finesse is on the flank. He's all the way up on the flank. That turret's nearsighted.
13 seconds left. Whopping, what can you do?
10 seconds left.
Oh, and NRG takes 7 in a row, baby.
What a stomp!
Som with the pit. Victor with the awareness to find that first on the flank is ridiculous. And I thought for sure they were going to be able to at least process of elimination. Som away from that little corner.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
So many players getting active here for NRG now.
That's funny. I gotta find that tweet now.
Victor in that last round, I think, Huge props to him. He was so good on Lotus. And it's the game sense considerably improved for what I can tell on the server right now. He's consistently finding the right places to look at the right times.
Sentinels left searching for answers, looking for some sort of an opening. They've succeeded at getting the spike down a couple times, but they haven't been able to convert from there. Once again, you have Sam back yellow.
Pancata won this duel last time, but
He did this time too.
Again, improvements from Pancata, super important to see for Sentinels, regardless. But the trade back immediately on the other side of the map.
Commits him to the A push.
Still hasn't found a time to use this ult yet.
This might be as good a time as any.
You should run.
Pancata's investing his.
Do you push in and maybe push forward with your pit here?
Want to wait this out and then fight.
No, you're gonna drive the pit right there. I think I would have pushed that a little bit forward, to be honest.
Push into it.
It's used, but
early.
None of the Uto countered out from Sentinels that were possible here. And because of that lockdown on the one player, wait.
Pancata's in trouble. He's in so much trouble. This two-man flank from NRG once again has members of Sentinels trapped.
Reckoning used.
Reckoning suit as Victor has to sidestep, but Finesse continuing to frag, continuing to lead from the front. Sasi and Pancata outnumbered and outgunned.
Nope.
4 for Finesse. The defeat
Bro.
for Sam and 8 for NRG.
Reckoning there too. They're dancing around it that entire time in a 4v4 situation.
My ultimate is ready.
You thought, oh, that's going to be impossible for them to walk through, but they treat that ult like it's a boss fight. They just sidestep every little thing. That's
all right, Sentinels last time out on the map here.
Of that post plan, and it's like they've practiced it a million times.
Damn, man.
Ult that's intended to cause chaos, honestly, and it was just cool, calm, and collected from them.
Honestly, might have caused more chaos there for Sentinels in the case, where they're trying to track them. But I think as well, they're all playing in the pit too, so they don't have the same value out of the pulses from the Reckoning. (8-0). One of the toughest score lines we've seen so far here in the Americas League. We've definitely seen some first half deficits.
There's no way they dropped this, right?
Like this.
There's no way NRG drops and ain't nothing again.
There's still a shot for them to keep it competitive. I think an 8-4, given how this has gone, would feel like a win.
Oh, for
really,
sure.
But I mean,
given how it's gone, yeah, for sure. I think the thing that I'm thinking in my head, I'm just like, how is this possible? Given the fact that, you remember that game I was talking about, where the only game we saw for NRG on Icebox against Koi, the first map that we saw from them this year. They lost the first half 9-3, and that was the defense side they started on. That was the defense side. They came back on the attack. One of the most ridiculous Icebox comebacks. I mean, maybe it was a precursor to the finals of that tournament, but
try not to get shot, okay?
How can Sentinels find a way back into that, given that context?
The boys really tweeted out as the Diet-Optic and about to get swept, though.
That's not the start they were looking for.
That's Tens again, too. He's been consistently dying over here, fast B main. And he's updrafting and trying to find something again. But now I think it's starting to hurt him more than be a positive factor in the Sentinels' approach. On Lotus, he went 8 and 16. He was 2 for 7. First kills, first deaths. A brutal scoreline for Tens, who we all thought was return of the king last week.
Yeah. On the jet, too. On Icebox. I mean, so historic on this map.
If he can't get going now, I'm questioning the role changes entirely.
I mean,
still a shot here.
It's fair.
First Sentinels,
right?
even though they find themselves
I think
down.
it's fair.
Actually, I don't know.
Nice
This
start.
is going to be really difficult to deal with. You have the lockdown, you have the Hunter's Fury. Well, you have the Hunter's Fury. Seconds using his.
Should be broken, yeah.
It is, yeah. And they're just going to try
Nice.
Where's the
stop the plant for now?
Where's the defense on that? KO nade comes in on top of it too. Pancata does retrieve it just in time.
Across the way in heaven.
Saw him clean for the first. Victor left in this 1v2. Another clutch situation. Can he pull it off? Can he continue to pile it on? He's got time here. He can play this quietly. He can play it carefully. They hear him. The onus is on Sentinels. Go fast. Victor's gotten it down to a 1v1. Having to tuck tail. He's only got 1 second. He's got to commit to the plan now. And just puts all the onus on Pancada, but he gives him enough of a time. Victor.
Oh! He should have pushed sooner.
Got it when he needed it most.
Damn, dude.
Got it when the situation looked ever so dire. You wanted an 8-4. Here comes the start of something from Sentinels.
Here comes the start of some Sentinels. Okay.
The energy in this room.
Trust.
Momentum potentially. Now for Pancada, who has been having a great game on this A-Lurk consistently. Maybe finding some form. Looks like Ten's got purposefully knifed there so that he could start to rotate, trying to give Zekin the opportunity to come in and drone and make it look like there's something behind. And it's worked, actually. NRG has pulled 4 people to this side.
And Sassy may find some room to work with mid. It seems like Victor's watching it, understanding that that's a weakness on the map right now. And they've left Finesse on an island. Yeah, he has utility, but he's by himself.
He's been finding some value, and I think if Crashes can start to rotate back now that no noise has been found for so long.
It's just so much utility waiting for him once they try and push onto A here.
Be very curious if he uses it earlier, if they're just going to call the rotate. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, knife just came up.
Good call on the rotate here. Yep.
And Finesse manages to stay alive. That's huge. Now the Hunter's Fury, 10's weak, trying to tuck away, trying to stay alive. But no, Finesse kills him.
Got a couple tags on that last one.
We've seen a lot of turret kills this weekend.
3v3?
3v3. And you still have 2 members of NRG who are still backside. Victor, one of them. Death playing with fire in the high-low. 2
nice.
Crashes with 3. Pancada once again left in this clutch situation. But it's not a 1v1 anymore.
Yo, Pancada is actually about to be even though it's 9-1. I need y'all to think about that for a second.
As the closing moments of the round come to an end, you start to think about the following, and you look at the buy for Sentinels. There's not much here for Pancada. Saving this rifle's huge.
So he's actually positive while it's 9-1.
A win streak there instead. Back to relying on the loss bonus. That is so unlucky for Tens. There's barely a gap in that Viper wall, by the way. But he was updrafting that entire time. I'm surprised that turret wasn't just pecking at him the entire... When that Hunter's Fury was going off, he was really trying to avoid it. Fear intense.
Ooh, early wall from Artist. I don't think we've seen this before.
Yeah, not in this game, which is... He took the orb while having the res. He still hasn't used that, by the way, the entire half. They haven't had a need for it. But he just stole the orb from them, which is funny. It is close to the end of the half, but Som could have gotten that. They're just interested in denying on this eco more than anything.
And this is NRG at full force, right? Like, this is the roster. This is the squad, the look that we expected. They're not just satisfied with taking everything. They're also denying from the other side. Sentinels, the remaining members of Sentinels anyway. Still 2 rifles here, but they're all pushing it onto A. Where once again, you see a couple members from NRG close by.
Gives away the locations.
The shock dart could be good. Yep, deal some damage on Asasi. How much more can he find? The second shock dart right in his face.
Kata's on top.
There are a couple of members right above him too. Sentinels starting to flood out, starting to swing through.
Smarty is expecting Pancada to come on the backside. Pause.
And 2 rifles still in play for the attacking side.
Those Artist slows are so good. Continuously, they're trying to fight within them, but no room to actually move.
There's one. They're doing it. They're keeping it competitive. 2v2.
1 enemy remaining.
And it's just a share for 10s.
Well.
Is this another
Oh,
10s moment?
hold on though.
In the books. He's gotten it down to 1.
10s.
Victor up top. The swing.
Oh!
The Red Bull clutch for Sentinels.
Disgusting.
Last round.
Relying on the big moments from their big players, Pancada and Tens now. 2 big clutches to keep this game somewhat interesting. And it's what everybody came here to see is moments like this from Tens.
One enemy remaining.
Just the sheriff.
Vintage Tens moment. And while that feels like a really good high right now, I have to point out the fact that unfortunately Tens just doubled his kills on the map with that 2K.
That one hurts. Oh, aggro from Sam. Last time they conditioned him to stay back behind the wall. This time, there's so many layers.
And Sam has just been, he's just gotten Tens number this entire half.
Yes, I would love to see the head-to-head at some point during this game, because it's got to be so favorable towards the new kid on the
9-2, dog. Like, geez, Luis.
Poison's off.
Spanking that ass. Turns the corner.
And he's going to find value from back yellow. He spots another. He's gotten 3, not able to get the 4th, but I mean, at this point, it's done.
Oh, almost tagged Saucy too. That would have been info, and surely the round over.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'd say so.
Poison's off.
I'd say maybe he gets a kill, but he's not getting all 4.
Know where he is.
Yeah.
At least they have an idea.
Victor, he's so aware, dude. He is just consistently on the money with every piece of util.
Gotta say, we kind of all questioned when Victor
that gap in the smoke there from Saucy
locked in the KO.
But not gonna be enough. It is a brutal battering in this first half by NRG. 10-2. I don't know if there's a way back into this.
I don't know that there is either, man. It's so clean from top to bottom. They haven't been able to deal with Sam back yellow. They haven't been able to get advantages for them off of him too. Again, I point back to the Sam Tens 1v1 that we've seen a couple times, and now Sam has just had his number. If they can't find openings with the tip of their spear, then how do they? Maybe defensively you can find a little bit more success, but that's just a tall order.
Yeah, that one hurts. Sentinels on the back foot, only 2 rounds in the first half. And there's really not even much to discuss for Tens. 4-11, 4-12 for Def. How do they get back in this?
I don't know if they can, but you know what? Maybe Sue and Baby Bay know. They're standing by for a quick interview at halftime.
Thank you very much, Doug and Bala. Standing here with Baby Bay, who is in the house. Baby Bay, it is such a pleasure to be able to speak with you. What brings you into town today?
Honestly, like, I was here rooting for the Sentinels, but the boys on NRG looking too cold right now, too cold. So it's gonna be a rough comeback. But I know we got some Sentinels fans in the house. Like, they need your energy right now.
There it is. There it is.
I know you were saying that this is a map that Sam is particularly nasty on, but you made it clear you're here rooting for the Sentinels. So if we got Coach Baby Bay up in there, what would you be saying to them?
Honestly, right now, I'm just trying to get some energy into the Tens, man. He just needs to turn up. He's the one player that can completely change the entire series. So I'm really hoping he can bring it back into this half and just go off.
Well, it's still not over. We'll see how it goes in that second half. But speaking for yourself, we saw how challenges went out. Now that Split 1 and the midseason face-off has wrapped up, how are you feeling overall, and where's your headspace at?
It's definitely not the result we wanted, but, you know, we're working hard every day, and I'm trying to make it to play with these guys on this stage. So, you know,
true.
It's the best, and we're going to do whatever it takes to get there. So it's looking good for us.
I feel it.
Speaking to that, it's clear that there are so many fans here that are fans of yours. It's clear that, you know, you want to be playing on this stage. Finesse my daddy, and very nice side. So with that being said, you know, what is that mentality like headed into that next year? Can we see you here?
I'm gonna do my best to make it. Like I said, I'm a hard worker. I do what it takes to make it. So
I think Baby Bay could get picked up by a roster and be able to be a good addition to
show up.
All right. Last question before I get to let you go. Any last words being here in person in front of all of these amazing fans and, of course, all the lovely
I think the only problem, though, is the
Honestly,
duelist,
if you guys
right?
aren't here and you're thinking about coming, you should definitely come. The arena is sick. The energy in here is like nothing else. So you guys got to get out here. Come show out. I guarantee you will not regret it.
Thank you very much for taking the time for this interview. Doug and Bala, back to you.
Thank you so much.
Because, like, who do you move out, right, for Baby Bay? Like,
he's not on the stage. He has such a wide personality. Lovely guy. But right now, focus back on NRG and Sentinels. Crowd refocusing. We're refocusing. It is a monumental ask from them. I think the Lotus game definitely showed some improvements from Sentinels.
Chat, do we watch the Celeste Cup finals tomorrow?
A complete shift. NRG not giving them any room to work.
And you can see they're trying to push the pace to try to equalize things and get momentum back their way. Zekin getting the opener, instantly traded back though. And Crashies continues to form.
He actually falls off of that again. Speaks to the confidence here from Tens that he's showing. His team all falls. The dink is nice. But you want energy in him. You need a moment. Like that 1v2 at the end of the half.
Tough to stress really the importance of this pistol for Sentinels. You have to convert. There's just no other really way to describe it.
An advantage started for Sentinels here. Zekin got that first pick, but immediately 2 more kills coming in from NRG. In time, a factor. We saw how they were so willing to bring it down to the end. They're going for the hit right now.
I think Bakal is aware of the fact that Finesse is going to try to apply pressure mid. Yeah, he is, but he's spotted by the turret. Finesse patient. Here's him rotate off too. You see his little mind games, his little micro chess matches happening throughout the map.
Orb's gonna fall now. Gonna have the opportunity to go for it. Finesse trying to find a gap too. 20 seconds. This is all the way down to it.
Tens is weak. They're just waiting for that.
Max fuel.
Yep. Fuel to come up, and now the wall's up
Ball
too.
comes
Sassy's
in.
pushed back.
Great
Right.
Oh.
And Finesse strikes at just the right time.
Yeah. Well,
they're breaking their own wall there. So they can get the angle back onto it. And yeah, there's the angle that they broke it for. It's suffocating.
man, NRG looks really, really good today, chat.
A little deeper. The Viper wall coming up with max fuel. The Molly as well landing just where they're trying to challenge back against anything. Oh my God, that is...
They did not look good against Leviatan.
You mentioned suffocating.
But man,
70% of the time you find yourself down at the beginning of the round. That sucks. Like, that's so difficult to navigate.
Yeah. And the funny part is it actually is an issue now for Sentinels. This is 2 weeks in a row where they're struggling on that front exactly. With a player like Tens, that's not how you want to start the season. They won the series against 100 Thieves despite being below in that specific stat.
Let's take a look at how far back Sam is playing, still in spawn.
Poison orb emitting.
Expecting pressure from mid. And
It's a force as well, by the way, from Sentinels. Got to touch on that real quick.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
Bulldog, no armor for Zekin. Light armor, Stinger, Spectre for the rest of them.
Toxins going up. Toxin screen down.
And I wondered just how antsy Sassy would get. He's playing close by mid, but not pushing for rejet. Meanwhile, NRG are towards A.
Here.
You can see the pings on the minimap too. Tench playing back site, waiting to respond. You've got Zekin close by as well.
A little damage found there, but Finesse diving through the smoke against Sassy.
Yeah.
They expect the second here. No.
It's another opener.
30 seconds left.
For Sentinels, they find themselves up pretty big on numbers here.
Oh,
Spike down. Oh my goodness.
Brother.
That was probably the best chance they had. Numbers wise, and it just once again falls apart.
Well, chat, it's over, man.
Force does not pay off.
Gotta say as well, that
Sentinels do not look good today. And I don't know if that has to do with NRG
just nasty.
or Sentinels.
Over and over and over.
That has to do with NRG and not Sentinels.
On it in these anti-ecos and constantly finding values, especially against forces like this.
One enemy remaining.
It's all light armor, so much easier to find that 2-tap kill.
All smiles, man, and they have every reason to.
They're on the verge of the biggest margin of any America's map so far.
Placing swamp.
Big opener. They were able to buy up enough to have some bite in this round.
Yeah, but because of that, Sassy's not.
I like the angle, Vero.
That Molly. You talk about a buy. Yes, they got Bulldogs. They have a Guardian. But no Mollies, no util, so they can't deny this plan, even with the breaking of the wall.
Yeah, but what they do have is map presence. Look at how they're starting to flank around. They've got mid presence. They've got Tens on the flank.
Oh, Tens.
Sam once again out of shot to get the best of Tens, and he does. That head-to-head, I'm sure, is going to be interesting to discuss afterwards, but for now, a couple of moments still in this map. First, Sentinels have to figure out how they navigate with 3 Bulldogs, getting the spike defused, re-establishing control on the site with so much before them. NRG with so many tools at their disposal. Artist trying to put them away. Second in this 1v3 turned into nothing.
Sheesh.
From NRG. They look rough.
NRG looked really good this week, man. That's a great way to bounce back from their game last week.
They absolutely are.
Brother, what does that say about Sentinels, though, man?
And then they lost. And the discussion shifted all of a sudden. But not anymore. Making a statement, that is
damn, bruv.
Making everybody know 100% is still NA's best. A good showing from Sentinels, I think, especially that first map on Lotus. It was a nice attempt at a counter pick. And you see some signs of them being able to commit a little further within the meta where they've had.
If Leviatan loses to Furia, which they did this week,
you see them commit back to double duelist.
Loud's still undefeated. Does that mean that NRG still comfortably sits in third
today. This is a new team. This is a new project, one of the first of its
in the region? Or would you put them in fourth since the team that they lost to would be sitting right up there next to him, being Leviatan?
And there's room for growth, that's for sure. But in terms of map pool, I think NRG absolutely got the advantage of this, forcing them into the places where you know they're trying to force themselves to be comfortable.
All right. I think it's just such a huge testament. And, you know, you kind of alluded to this earlier. Yeah, there were still some weaknesses that they showed on Lotus. But the fact
it does kind of seem like the top of America's kind of pulling away. Even if this is NRG pulling away from the rest of the group, too. It's kind of crazy to think about.
If they're able to take care of their map weakness, they're able to completely dominate on their map choices. NRG very quickly are answering the questions that we had at the end of last week.
Oh, for sure. And also bringing out some surprises, you're right. The Victor Jet in that first map looked great.
Yep. Crashy's back to form. Finesse continuing to frag. Victor looked good on the Jet.
And Artist with some consistency, too.
Yeah, yep.
Looking good, NRG, looking good. I also have to say, we kept touching on that Psalm versus 10's fight.
Why is it NRG got a jersey on Artist?
Influencers at this point, right? W streamer versus W streamer. But Psalm was so good. Somebody had to take the L in that fight, and Psalm was just so
all right, chat.
on Icebox. He's continuing.
We're gonna go get up on out of here, man.
So many levels again.
Y'all looking for a good place to hang out outside of the stream. Discord's best place to keep up with your boy, keep up with where I'm casting at, keep up with you know what we've got going on. Whether it's when we're gonna be doing watch parties, we've got videos dropping since we are gonna be doing more long and short form videos this week. Whether it's interviews, whether it's, you know, our wraparound for the regions, kind of going over updates, pick'ems, doing power rankings, stuff like that, or obviously going live over here. All right. But try and pop live in the morning for Team Secret versus Gen G. That'll be starting at 5. Tomorrow we should be having my EMEA wrap up dropping on YouTube. So that should be dropping in between our watch parties for Pacific, as well as if we end up popping live tomorrow for the Evil Geniuses game. We may skip the Evil Geniuses game. We'll see. The only reason I say that is we may end up deciding to watch Celestial Cup over here. And if we do that, I'd rather kind of take the afternoon off and have energy for that when we jump into it. But I'm gonna jump off of here, man. I posted in the Discord this morning after kind of taking some time away this weekend and thinking about things. I just don't think I can afford to really do full watch parties multiple days a week right now as far as per region. So I'm gonna try and just kind of check in on like one matchup per region a week that we're for sure going to pop live for. And then depending on how the workflow is going with videos and with casting, we may pop live for some other ones other than that. So we'll see, man. Appreciate everyone coming and hanging out. Till we catch y'all. Oh, if y'all over here on YouTube and y'all haven't already done so, hit that like button. Seems to help with as far as the algorithm. People finding it not only when we're live, but also afterwards, especially since we do have things chaptered up. Also, if it's your first time through or you haven't already done so already and you like the vibes, hit that subscribe button. We're chasing down that first 200 over here on the YouTube channel. Getting close to it, getting close. We only need a handful here more, so I appreciate it. If y'all are over on the green brand, over on Kick, you can find me over on at YoBoyCue over there as well. Hit that follow button while we try and monetize the channel over there as well, especially since we're trying to save up to upgrade our rig. I'd greatly appreciate you. But until we catch y'all back over here for the next one, man. Don't forget, with everything crazy going on in the world today, be true, be you, be sincere, game hard and love hard, all right, y'all? It's your boy Q, signing out.